Ok. Dobro, dakle, počinjemo na srpskom, zato što je ovo 79. izdanje podcasta sa Lukom i Kuzmom, ali ćemo veći deo ovog podcasta pričati na engleskom. Je tako, Kuzmo?
Tako je, i vrlo nam je drago što ćemo imati takvu priliku, a neće nam biti prvi put, doduše bit će prvi put uživo, s obzirom da je Saša Stefanović bio naš gost, ali svakako izuzetno veče pred nama i nadam se da će svi oni koji čekaju i koji će se uključiti moći da uživaju u jednom razgovoru koji će biti u skladu sa onim našim trajanjem naših podcasta. Mislim da ćemo se potpuno uklopiti, da.
Dobro. Hoćeš ti da najaviš ili ja?
Nećemo da najavimo, ajmo samo da pre nego što najavimo da kažemo...
Nećemo da najavljamo.
Nećemo uopšte najavljamo. Svi već znaju. Ne, da kažemo nekoliko stvari. Vrlo bitna stvar za ono što su nas svi pitali. Danas nam je pomogao, sad ja kad bi se setio imena, to je bilo divno, ali otvoren nam je fantasy.
Da, otvoren je fantasy, što ja i dalje ne znam kako funkcioniše.
Nemoj da razmišljaš, našao sam se.
Ali ima u opisu.
Jeste, sve je urađeno i bit će ispod našeg podcasta. To je prva stvar. Druga stvar, da je Mirko želeo da donira jedan dres i to je učinio. Ponudio je dres koji sam ja poslao Vanji. Vanja, ako možeš ubacimo sličicu dok ja ovo pričam koja ti je stigla.
Da, ovo je dres Valencije.
Jeste, dres Valencije, tako. To je Mirko Bukinac, prodaje taj dres i početna cena mu je 100 evra, a sav prihod ide za lečenje male Valentine Marković. Dakle, ja sam to stavio na Instagramu, a biće i ispod samog podcasta će biti link za tu humanitarnu akciju.
A čekaj, kako sad, ide neka licitacija ili kako?
Ako neko želi da ga kupi, početna cena je ta, znači kada se dogovori sa Mirkom, to je vrlo lako da uspostave s obzirom da se
ali preko nas.
Može i preko nas, naravno, ako neko želi ili direktno, potpuno svejedno, samo da ta akcija uspe. Radi se o Nedovićevom dresu koji je, ima ova slika, ima dres pozadi, potpisan je na broju koji mu se nalazi na leđima, tako da je original Nedovićev dres.
Da, nekoliko stvari u vezi našeg večerašnjeg gosta. Dakle, znate da ćemo pričati uglavnom na engleskom, ne možemo simultano da prevodimo ništa, niti imamo neki titl, kada ćemo i u kom trenutku to raditi, da li ćemo raditi.
Ali bio je Nikola Ivanović i on će da preuzme to na sebe.
Jel jeste?
Jeste.
Pa da, ali prošli put nam je poslao onaj prevod za Saša Stefanović i nismo znali šta s njim da radimo.
Nismo znali, ali sad ćemo morati da uradimo.
Sad ćemo morati, da, dobro. Johnny Ivanović koji je napravio jedan fenomenalan snimak koji ćemo pruštati sledeći put, da sada ništa ne odlažemo, dakle, ovo što treba da počnemo da pričamo sa Čarlsom Dženkinsom. Dakle, Čarls Dženkins je naš gost. Charles, did you understand anything that we just said?
No, I wasn't. I'm sorry.
Okay, so welcome. I don't know if this is your first podcast or 100, but you're more than welcome to talk about everything here, and it's going to take hours.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, how are you?
Doing well. How are you? Thanks for having me, first of all.
We are happy you are here. We are excited because this is not ordinary episode of our show. I'm happy because you can give us a lot of things that we didn't know about success in Europe from player from the States. We would like to know everything from your childhood. I know that Luka had an interview with you, but it was 7 years ago. So let's refresh our memories. And I really want to know certain things that we only know, like stories from somewhere. But you are here to tell us. And I will open this. Please, your childhood. How many brothers and sisters you have? Place where did you grow up? And all the things that put you to play basketball. What is the way of living in that time? If you have something to add, Luka.
Yeah, well, I actually know that he grew up in Brownsville.
I know that you know, and I follow that podcast.
He's gonna talk more about that, and that was like not the best place in the world to grow up with the gangs and everything. But you can talk about it a little bit more. You grew up there, then you moved to Queens,
I moved,
right?
Yeah. So to answer your question, I'm one of three. So I'm the youngest. I have my older brother, Kareem, and my sister Eleanor, and then I'm the youngest. Both parents the entire time. Grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, which he knows that it's a pretty rough environment. I lived there for 6 years, and I actually remember the reason we moved. And where I lived, it was like a small playground for kids to play. It's in the middle of the neighborhood. And there was a homicide directly where we would normally play, but it was in the winter time. So for my dad, for it to be that close where, you know, I've been playing with my friends for a little bit, for me to be that young, to see the police, the ambulance, to see bodies being carried out of a building, that was enough for my dad to take, you know, the family to Queens.
And now, today, do you know it's like a totally different neighborhood with gentrification and everything?
In Brownsville?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think you could gentrify Brownsville yet, just because there's not much attraction there.
Yeah.
So you can gentrify downtown Brooklyn because, you know, you have the Barclays Center, and that creates a lot of other places where people will want to visit. But Brownsville is really, it's just one neighborhood together.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
And you moved to Queens? What part of Queens?
I moved to Rosedale, Queens.
Oh,
when I was 6 years old.
Someone famous is from there, like actors or something.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
No, like a family, Tortura family. You know Aida Tortura or someone? No? She was in Sopranos?
No,
okay.
I didn't follow
Maybe
that.
I missed. And that was probably a better place to grow up, right?
Yeah, it was a better place. It was a safer environment to go out. I actually was in transition, so the entire time when we were getting ready to move, my parents already transferred me to school in Queens. So we would take the commute from Brooklyn every morning to take my sister and I to school in Queens. My brother wasn't in school anymore, so we were getting acclimated to that new environment. It was more safer at the time. It's a little tough now, but not as much as it was when I was younger. And it was just a better chance for me to grow up.
But still, there was gangs, Crips, and Bloods even there, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't at the level of like Brownsville was. Brownsville was the Crips were fairly new, because Crips started in Los Angeles.
Yeah. And
it migrated to the East Coast, and it was fairly new. So when I was younger, a lot of guys that I knew were turning Crip, and there was a lot of fights, a lot of initiations.
Like what age? We're talking about.
I want to say
11,
maybe
12?
like 12 and up. But also, like, from just being in New York, no matter if you affiliated with a gang or not, or if you're in a gang, whatever neighborhood you live in, you kind of, if you're not in it, somebody from the outside would think you are, just because they know you grew up. They know you grew up with these kind of people. So Rosedale don't really have that. They had something similar to it, but not as crazy as it was when I was living in Brooklyn.
And what about those rap wars between East and West? Did you have any connection with it, or like, did you? I mean, probably you like Biggie more than the West Coast crew, but still.
It was because of my brother. My brother was a big fan of music, so he was never like, you know, either you listen to this person or no one. You know, we both listened to Biggie and Tupac. My brother, obviously at that time, the internet wasn't in existence, so the East Coast radios played more Biggie, and that's how I was able to listen to him more.
Yeah,
like, as if like in today's time you could listen to both, but back then East Coast radio they played Biggie, and West Coast radio they played Tupac. So,
any favorite songs from that time?
I would listen to the Ready to Die album. I like Juicy. I like Somebody Gotta Die. It's so crazy that's the name of the song. I like Hypnotize. I like What's Beef. I like a lot of his songs.
So old school songs, right?
Yeah.
You still listen to that, or just you turn to this new trap or whatever?
Yeah, I listen to it still. But there was a funny time maybe last year. My girlfriend and I was in the car, and she listens to more of the younger artists, and she told me that I need to give the young dudes a chance.
Like Tyga and
no way.
And after like going against it for so long, I finally decided to listen to them a little bit. So.
And?
Okay.
I like it. It's a little too violent, but I like it.
All right, so let's move to the college days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even before, when did you start practicing?
I started practicing, I think, 6 years old. My dad put me in summer camp at a local high school, where they just, you know, you do
After
like
you moved or before?
Before, and then it was easier to commute there when I moved because it was a little bit closer. So I've always been around the game. My brother played elementary school up until high school. So I was around there. My dad also played in the street, and I used to be at the park with him when he played with his friends. So I was able to be around it and find a love for it for myself at an early age. And when we moved to Queens, it was weeks without doing anything, with any activity at all. I was just really just staying around in the house. And my mom went to a grocery store and she found like a pamphlet for a basketball tournament, and it said ages 6 to 9, and then it was ages 10 to 12. And at that time I was 7. So they were like, next Saturday we're gonna take you to this basketball league and see if you can get on the team. And it was like halfway through the season. I remember they put me at half court, maybe played 2-on-2 against some kids, and depending on how I played, they put me on whatever team. So I played pretty good, and they put me on the worst team. So just to kind of even the league out.
Help them, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've been playing ever since.
But did you play before that? Like
nothing organized. No, it was just in parks whenever I got a chance. Or my brother would always make me do some kind of dribbling drills and things like that. But I never played other than when I moved to Queens.
Okay, so people here are asking about your cap. Is it like Locks from Yonkers?
Yeah, this is a friend of mine. His brand, Godspeed. His name's Randy. Lived back in Queens, and this is one of the hats that he made.
I gotta ask this: did you watch the sitcom King of Queens?
Yeah, with Doug Heffernan.
Yeah. Doug Heffernan.
I watch it. I don't watch it too much. I don't watch it too much, but I know what it is.
Leah Remini and everything.
Yeah,
but that was a different part of Queens, right?
Oh, I didn't watch it enough to know where.
You watch King of Queens? No. It's my favorite show.
Yes.
All right, so
we understand that.
Doug Heffernan, he said like the not the name of the actor, the name of the
character,
the role. And people here are asking so many things about this part of our conversation, and they asking like, is my accent like totally American? It's not totally American.
Nah, but it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit. I lived there for like 8 years. It's got to be. It's got to be
legit.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so we can move to Hofstra. We can move to Pride.
Or high school.
You want to go to high school?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that?
So a big part of my life that changed my whole perspective on things was my brother passed away in 2001. 2001 was also 1 year after my niece was born. And I was in the 8th grade, and at that point in time of my life, I didn't want to do anything. My brother, my best friend, the person that taught me how to play basketball, the person that I wanted to wear his clothes, the person that I followed every chance that I got, and I spoke to on the phone every day, even when we moved to Queens and he stayed in Brooklyn. He was murdered when I was in 8th grade. And going into high school, I got in because there was a guy that wanted me there. And I wasn't mature enough to tell him that I was mentally somewhere else because I just lost my best friend. And I went to high school my freshman year, and I was non-existent. I didn't want to go to class. I didn't want to play basketball. I just was going because I had to. And because of that behavior, I got kicked out of school. So from 9th grade, I basically had a year off. I didn't do anything. I just went to school, came home, didn't do homework, didn't play a sport, just failed for that entire year until the summer came, going into 10th grade, and they told me that I didn't have the grades to go to the school anymore. And I had to go to my zone school, which was Springfield Gardens High School. I got into summer school. I met someone there that I knew, and he was able to spread the news all over New York that I didn't pass any classes my 9th grade year. And that changed my entire life because it was embarrassing. And I knew that I needed to, of course, honor my brother, but also live my life as well. So from then on, I went to Springfield Gardens High School. You
were like 15 at the moment,
right? I was, 14. Yeah. And I played really good up until, but not good enough to get a scholarship. I played okay. And it came down to one game my senior year. I was getting ready to be a mechanic. I always tell the story. It's the craziest thing. My best friend, we were getting ready to take our SATs, and then in my school, they call you down and you have to fill out all these forms and things like that. And he already had his ideal life that he wanted, and he told him that he wasn't going to take the SAT and that he was going to go to trade school, and after 13 months, he was going to start working. And for me at that time, I never had a lot of college recruitment. I never went through that phase. So for me, that was ideal. Like, okay, after 13 months, we can start making money.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Basketball was fun, but I wasn't having the same success as my peers. So that was I was really going to consider that. And we had one game against top 25 school. That was a lot of attention, and we were supposed to lose this game by 20 points or something. We ended up losing by 4, and I played really well, like probably my best high school game. And 2 days later, Hofstra came to my school, and 3 other schools came, and I narrowed it down to what made sense as far as my opportunity to play and be close to home. And Hofstra, checked all boxes, and I decided to go there.
So that was a big part, right, to stay in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the other schools were like
the other schools was Marist was a little bit upstate, and then I had some conversations with St. John's, was also in New York,
really?
But they wanted me to go to prep school, another year of high school, and didn't come. And I already didn't like high school, so I was like, "There's no way I'm going to go another year." Just when I'm eligible to go. I already did well on my SATs, my ACTs, so I didn't want to just go to high school to get more college recruitment.
So Hofstra was the option A.
Option A, yeah. A, B, and C.
And how much did you know about the Pride and everything, like Speedy and everybody else?
I went to see Speedy play when I was younger. My dad took me to a game. But other than that, and any players behind him, I had no idea of who they were or what kind of success they had. I just knew that it was a Division I college. I knew that I didn't have to hear my dad's voice anymore about getting to college for free and things like that. And I was happy with it. And
Speedy is still like one of the best players in Hofstra history, right?
Yeah, most successful, yeah.
He took it.
He's the head coach now.
Yeah, he was assistant for the like 7 or 8 years, and now he's head coach.
Yeah.
And during that, you went 4 years there, right?
5, yeah.
5 years. And what was it like?
It was fun. It was an opportunity for me to learn how to play basketball. I always say that my high school wasn't like a basketball school where we had a ton of players that got recruited all the time. It was really a school that was full of gangs, and their thing was they wanted to get as many kids to graduate as possible. So if you were doing the right thing, then they kept all the kids that did the right thing together to kind of like iron sharpens iron. Like, you be around other kids, they give you opportunity to be more successful than the rest of the school. And I was able to go to Hofstra and learn basketball, learn a lot of things that I didn't know my entire life. So my first year when I sat out, because I was 17 going in school and they felt I was too young to play, and they already had a lot of guards that were getting a lot of minutes, and I needed a year to learn and play against them and learn how to adjust to college and things like that. I had a lot of time of watching film, watching games, playing against them, learning how to curl on the screen, learning how to make reads and things like that I never experienced. And it was a tremendous eye-opening experience for me of where I was and where I wanted to be.
And what time did you know that you were an NBA caliber with the scouts and everything? They come like maybe senior year or maybe even before junior year?
And to be honest, I didn't really know because I come from humble beginnings. So any small success to me is major, So as far as like paying attention to things like that, I've experienced so much tough times basketball wise that I really didn't feed into it until it was right in front of my face. And after my junior year, my agent, who's still my agent today, he reached out to me and asked me to meet him to have a conversation. And we talked for probably 2 hours about just basketball and the opportunity he saw for me if I continued to play well my senior year. And it was enough for me to just not leave with my head in the clouds, but kind of like start to appreciate how hard I worked in school. And fortunately for me, I was around a lot of pros that gave me sound advice on what I needed to do to have a successful career as a professional. So my junior year, I met Ben Gordon. We worked out a lot that summer. I met Raja Bell. We worked out together. Royal Ivy, I worked at his camp. And he was one of the, other than Speedy, he's one of the most important guys I met when I was in college, just because he was so down to earth and he answered every question that I asked. And not only that, he asked me, do you have anything else? And from there, he gave me his phone number and he answered every time. Anytime I had a question, anytime he saw something that he felt I needed to know, you know, he was there. So just those three people. Also, Jay Hernandez was also a trainer that went to Hofstra. He's with the Charlotte Hornets now. He kept me around, he was always in my ear, speaking positivity and also telling me when I wasn't doing the right thing. So I needed those kind of people around me. And from those relationships, I was even more comfortable to have the conversation about the next level because I was around some good people that gave me great advice.
Yeah, and you still in touch with them today? Like Ben?
I'm more in touch with.
Ben is British, right?
No, I don't think so.
I think he's.
We're not like
he
as
played for Great Britain.
We're not as in touch as when I was in school, but I'm sure if I reach out, then the relationships are gonna pick right back up from where they've been.
That's like a crazy thing. There was like years ago, like we're talking about 2 decades ago, the Public Enemy was here, and somehow we connected because they knew I had a, American experience. And they trusted me with everything, like going out and casinos and everything, girls. And then Flavor Flav, he was like, listen to me, this is my phone number, and you call me anytime you need anything. And I didn't use it. And when I went to America, I was like...
So tomorrow we are going to call him together.
And he was like, I was like, this is Flav's number. They're like, nah, you're tripping. I'm like, okay. And it was like written like a kid. It looked like a kid wrote it. Yeah. And I was like, no, this is Flav. So, it's really good when you got someone like not better than you, but more experienced with everything. Mm-hmm. You can reach out every anytime you want. But you want to ask anything about?
No, I'm just listening. Now knowing what you're saying about how things were and what kind of people you had behind yourself. Now I see why did you play the way you play in Serbia especially? Because you had that approach to basketball. Like you said, your head was never in the clouds. And I believe that me personally, and I believe all the fans of Red Star appreciated that because you were just the guy who is doing his job on the court no matter what's going on. Good shape, bad shape. You are hot or not, you're doing your job. And I think that what you're saying now build you as a professional player. That's my opinion now after hearing this.
I think like the way I play here had a lot to do with how comfortable I am in Serbia. And I also have an understanding of the will to win here. So I say that because when I first got here, a lot of messages that I received from fans immediately was about trophies. And you don't normally get that. Especially you don't get that I think I signed in July and I was getting messages like that from the moment I signed, like on Twitter, bring us trophies. And for me, I was at home. I never been to Serbia before. My agent sent me a lot of videos, and when I saw like out of these videos that they have of our fans, I always find one person in the crowd that's just giving it everything. And I don't forget those kind of people because they're here to see us perform. And they're really serious about winning. Now, of course, we're serious about winning as well because we practice and we stay late and we do things that some nights our bodies don't allow us to do, but we still fight and try. But the fans here really care about winning. And I felt that from the moment I got here. And I felt it from Dejan the moment I got here. I felt it from Branko Lazic the first time he guarded me in practice. And when you're around that kind of environment, it makes you almost like, this is what I have to do. You know what I mean? Like I never wanted to come out and not play 100% because I could just feel that my teammates were doing that. I remember my first day in Zlatibor. Dejan had DeMarcus Nelson and I watched practice because we just got there. And I remember watching the guys do all these morning conditioning drills where they ran from side to side and no one put their hand on their knees or no one complained. I mean, of course, they were speaking Serbian. And I had no idea if they were complaining or not. But to me, in my eyes, it looked like, man, like these dudes are serious. And it just made me want to fall in line and just be like, you know, the other 13 guys that's taking the game as serious as from what I saw.
That's what I'm saying now. What is your opinion? Are you like any other American player in Europe? What do you think? Because you felt this, and we don't have a feeling that each American player feels this when he gets
that come here.
Europe. Yes, wherever in Europe.
Well, even
I
here.
Well, I think different parts of Europe have different
approach, huh?
Pressure than Red Star. Like I feel like Red Star, Partizan, I think they play under a lot of pressure that you have for yourself that you want to perform, the will to win from the club, and then you have fans that really want to win.
Is that like a good thing or a bad thing for you as a player?
I mean, you play the game to win, so it's always a good thing, and you do want to feel something. You do want to have some type of emotional attachment to the game. I mean, I think I do. That's why most of the pictures they have of me is me screaming because I got to let something out. But I do feel like there is a different kind of pressure here. Yeah,
we got to go a little bit back because you moved to the Red Star.
Yes.
But let's talk about the draft 2011. 2011, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Vanya, you remember draft 2011 with Kemba, Clay, Kyrie. Kyrie was that pick.
Yep.
Kawhi, Jimmy.
Yeah. Derek Williams.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Derek Williams went number 2.
Derek Williams went number 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikola Vucevic.
Yep.
He was actually at the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was here like a couple of months ago. And who else? Isaiah
Thomas was 60.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson was, I think, 4.
Yeah. A lot of good players went.
Yeah, Chris Singleton was in that draft too.
Yeah, like 13 or something.
Maybe like a little higher.
Yeah, 16.
Iman Shumpert was in that draft.
Yeah.
Norris Cole.
There was like big names that went undrafted. Like from Europe, Zoran Dragic was there, but okay. But I remember someone.
I think Vesely got drafted that year too.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he was 6.
Yeah, he was 6.
Yeah.
Yep. And you were like
44. Mm-hmm.
44.
Yeah.
And did you expect that, like on the second round? Or you were hoping like maybe you can get the first round like 29th or 30th or something like that?
I mean, that entire process was tough.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was tough because I played at Hofstra, and Hofstra's a small school. We have a small media following us. So when you move from there to the NBA, it's a different type of energy, and not just from the environment you're in, but your peers. So throughout that draft process, as much as I tried to block it out, a lot of people sent me mock drafts and where they thought I was going to go, including my dad. Yeah. My dad he spent a lot of money buying those ESPN mock drafts because he thought that they were telling him where I was going. So the time I would, there were some days where I shut my phone off and I'm like, I don't want to hear nobody. And then when I go home, my dad's like, yeah, man, I just saw that you're going to go 28 to the Bulls. And after a while, that voice was in my head a lot. So when it came to the draft, I knew I wasn't a lottery pick. I thought maybe like mid-20s from then on, and I even planned my day for that. Like I planned my day to make my way to the city after the lottery picks because I knew I wasn't going to go there, and proceed to get to the hotel with my family and watch the rest until my name was eventually called.
Yeah, and when you saw like the Warriors, what would you think? Did you ever go to the West Side?
No, I didn't. That's the thing. I didn't go to the West Side.
Yeah,
I didn't work out. It's funny you said that. I don't think I worked out for any team. Like, I didn't work out for the Lakers, not for the Clippers. I just met with them
Yeah.
And we had a conversation during the combine, and we talked again at another workout. But other than that, nothing.
Yeah, but when you saw it, we were like, Bulls with well players because it's close to home and it's east side.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking just anyone call me and I'm ready to go. I wasn't saying I need to be on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Nah.
And how much do you know about the team then? About Steph?
Of course, I follow the game, so I knew a lot about the roster. And I went to summer school with Darrell Wright, so I was able to follow what they were doing as far as following the stats and what kind of place they were in. But I didn't. When I saw them on the board, my agent called me before, so that's how I knew that they were going to pick me. But when they picked Clay, I didn't think anything about for me.
Yeah. And there was someone else.
Jeremy Tyler.
Mm-hmm. And you told me the last time we talked that you, Draymond, who came next year, and Clay, you lived in the same building, right?
No, just me and Clay.
You and Clay. But you told me about Draymond that he was crazy.
He would come to the house, though. Yeah. We spent a lot of time at my apartment his rookie year.
And you told me about when he was playing board games, even when he was a rookie, he was with the same passion, with the same everything.
Yeah, same. We played Trouble.
Yeah.
And we played Trouble for probably like 2 hours maybe, but it was intense. There wasn't any money on the table or nothing. It was just, he just likes to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything you play.
Yeah, anything.
Exactly. Yeah. And you told me about Clay, that everywhere he goes, he just like
form shooting. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He had a dog or something, right?
Yeah, Rocco. Yep.
Yeah. A small dog, right?
Yeah, small dog. Yeah, English bulldog. His dog is like famous now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 7 years ago, I still remember that. And let's talk about your first year, rookie year. It was a kind of good year. You had some minutes. You started like 20, 30 games, right?
Yeah, Steph was hurt a lot. Yeah. His ankle was really bad that year.
And Jared didn't came then, right?
And Jared was there the next year. We had Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
So Steph was hurt, and Nate had like a hip, injury that was bothering him every now and then. So I was able to get some minutes.
Monta was there, right?
Monte was there, but he got traded halfway through the season to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, him and Epe Udo.
Yeah, Epe Udo.
They traded him and Epe for Richard Jefferson, Andrew Bogut.
Yep. And that second year, when you look at it this way, before you got traded to the 76ers, Steph came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joe was there.
Yep.
And you got like a lot of less minutes seduced. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So did you want to go somewhere?
Where?
Anywhere. Like, is this the place that you want to stay there?
Yeah, I mean, I still wanted to be a part of it because I had a big summer with them, playing summer league. I went to point guard camp. I spent the weekend with Steph working out.
You told me that he called you and he said, "I'm going to pay for everything. You come to Charlotte, right?"
Yep.
And that was that year. That
was that summer. Yeah.
Yeah. You played like 1-on-1.
We played we played me, him, Mike Conley, and Tony Roten. We all worked out together for a weekend.
Tony Roten Jr.
Yeah.
I think he played in Europe a lot, like somewhere in East. I don't remember, but Mike Conley.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We all worked out together for that weekend. It was a great group. It was a really good environment. And going into the season, I had a lot of confidence. Of course, I knew that Jared Jack would be the first guard off the bench. It was Coach told me, and I was prepared. And
who's the coach back then?
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson, right?
Yeah, he told me that my opportunity would be limited and to stay ready. And Brandon Rush tore his ACL, and they moved me to shooting guard. So I played in the beginning, and then after a while, I stopped playing. It wasn't for no behavior. It wasn't for my work ethic. It's just a lot of the lower paid guys. This happens. It's okay. But I was still happy to be a part of the change because they were going to the playoffs, and that was a lot of things that we spoke about that summer. And that was the only thing I was like, no matter what, I just want to be a part of this change. If I'm not here for the next season, but if I can finish out the year, I'll be content with how things went because I'm a part of, what they're trying to be. And I got traded to Philadelphia. Life comes at you fast.
Yeah. And just tell me the last thing about the Warriors. Draymond with his rookie year, did he talk a lot of trash in practices even then?
Yeah, same person. Never. That's why when people talk about him now, I look at it different because that's who he was the moment he got there.
Yeah,
like he's doing nothing but being himself.
Yep. And you got traded to
Philadelphia
76ers, and you told me then, like, so many guys went through that team.
Yeah,
everybody had a stint, like six different players on your position. But you told me one thing, like you were at the club, I think, and someone called you and said you're starting tomorrow and you're going to guard Dwayne Wade, right?
Oh, I wasn't at the club, but
not in the club. Right?
I was there, but that's not how it happened. So I got to Philadelphia, and probably the first couple weeks I didn't play at all, and it was so funny. Like I remember, like the coach, how he introduced me to the team, like from the first practice. So we all like sitting in the room. And he's like, "Oh, we got a new player. Stand up and tell everyone your name." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm Charles." And I sat back down, and that was it. But that was it, like my communication with him. And I didn't play. I was just sitting on the bench watching. And then after a while, I was getting really frustrated because they weren't like a team that was going to make the playoffs. And normally you start resting guys, and your franchise guys don't play, and the guys that's trying to get a job plays. And it didn't happen for a while. And we played. So I had a routine. I would get on the 3:30 bus. I would train really hard. Jeremy Pargo and I, we would lift. We would play 1-on-1. We would shoot, and then
2:30 bus.
3:30
bus.
Yeah. So we the first group on the floor, and we used to play 1-on-1. We used to lift. We used to shoot, eat lunch, and then get ready to watch the game because we both didn't play. And on this one night, we played in Atlanta, and I was sitting at the end of the bench because that's like I knew I wasn't gonna play. That was my mindset. Of course, I was ready, but I knew that if the chances was higher that I wasn't gonna play. So I would sit at the end of the bench. Okay, timeouts. I'm still gonna shake my teammates' hand. I'm still gonna cheer for them. I'm not a selfish person. And it was just a bad game for the Sixers that night. And every player that subbed out of the game, they moved to the end of the bench. So I just kept moving up one seat until I'm eventually next to coach. That's how it was. And everyone that subbed out, they're like, "Hey, move down." And now I'm moving down. Okay, I'm moving. And Jeff Teague at that time was playing really well that night. He was doing everything. He was saying stuff to the bench. He was dunking. He was doing everything. And we were down probably like 18 points. And he hit like a shot, like it was like a miscommunication between the defense, and he ended up wide open. And he hit a shot, and he turned to the bench and he said something. And the coach was so upset, he stood up and like went to walk, and just because like the way he was sitting on the bench, he turned directly in front of me. And like I'm sitting there, my hands are like this. I'm just like in my head like
no.
And then he was just like, "You're in." And I'm like, all right.
Guarding Jeff, right?
But I subbed into the game with no idea what offense we run or nothing. I was just, for the first couple of possessions, I was just running up and down. And it was like a free throw where the other four players met, and they were saying what play they were going to run next. And I remember saying like, "I don't know the plays, but if you pass it to me, I'm going to shoot it." Okay. Passed the ball to me, shot it, I made it. The next play I got a steal, got fouled. And then next, I probably had like 2 more assists. So I'm thinking, in my head, I'm like, whew, I'm having a good night, you know? And we go into halftime, and I'm honestly content with how I played. Not thinking that I'm going to get back into the game, but I'm like, all right, I played my little 7 minutes. I'm good with that.
That was second quarter, right?
Yeah, second quarter. Yeah. And then, we warm up, and going into the third quarter, he called my name, and I started the third. So now I'm really confused, like, what's happening, you know? And we cut the lead down, and then eventually they ended up blowing the game away. And it was a funny thing that happened. Like, it was the beginning of the fourth quarter, and he said to me, "Are you tired?" And I just did a full conditioning workout lift. Of course, my legs are done. I'm tired. And he's like, "Are you tired? Because we're going to need you tomorrow." And in my head, I'm saying, if I say I'm tired, I'll never play again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm not tired. So I played the entire fourth. Get home, I got all these text messages from my friends, like happy that I had opportunity finally and things like that. And I'm like, okay, that's good, thanks. But in my head, I'm like, I know that's it. That was just one of the nights where we didn't play well. And then the next day, I think every player knows this. Every player can relate to what I'm about to say, but one of the most uncomfortable places you can be is in an elevator with your head coach. And I was in the elevator getting ready to go to the hotel, and bing bong, here's the elevator door opening, and it's the head coach, and I'm feeling all weird and uncomfortable, and he's staring at me, and I'm looking down because I don't want to make eye contact with him, and he says, we're going to start you the next game. Do you know any plays? And I said, no, I don't know any plays. I've been here almost a month, and guys haven't taught me anything. And then the next morning, we did shoot around, and they were playing.
Show you.
Yeah, he showed me, yeah.
And that was the Heat game, the next game.
Heat
right?
game, yeah, against Dwayne Wade, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place to start, right?
Yep. And then at the end of the season, what was the mindset for you? Like, you want to stay in the NBA, or you were talking to your agent, like maybe going somewhere else?
No, I was talking to Jeremy Pargo.
Yeah.
No, Jeremy Pargo.
Who's older, Jeremy or Gennaro?
Gennaro's older.
Yeah.
But Jeremy played a big role in where I am today. I give him that credit because he played in Philadelphia, and he also didn't play, which was crazy to me because he's really talented. He's everything you would want an NBA guard. He can shoot, strong, could jump, could pass. He can do everything in my eyes. And he wasn't playing. And a lot of times on the plane, he would watch Maccabi games. And I would ask him, who's that? What team is that? Where is that?
Yellow
He's
shirts.
like, this is Tel Aviv. He's like, this is Tel Aviv. This is a Euroleague team. And then he broke down to me, like over the next like couple days, because we stayed in the same hotel. We would watch games together. And he would tell me, this is Eurocup. This is Euro Challenge. This is Euroleague. This is the best league you can play in. This is Real Madrid. This is, he would tell me things like that. And he would say like don't limit yourself to just here. He's like, there's opportunity to play in Europe. Like, I'm not saying don't give up on your dream, but he's like, a lot of the situations like are going to be similar to this unless you have some amazing breakout game. And I was like considering it. And when the season was done, we spoke on the phone every day. And I remember telling my agent, like, let's not wait around for the NBA. Like, if there's a team in Europe that's interested in me, then let's start talking to them. And I spoke to Banki. He was the coach of Milan at the time.
Luka Banki, yeah.
And Red Star. And I didn't know much about any team, but I called Pargo. I called him, and I'm like, bro, there's a team in Serbia, Red Star, that I'm talking to right now. And I remember him saying, like, I don't know much about Red Star. He's like, but just give me a few minutes. I'll call you back. And I was like, okay. I waited around for a little bit, and he called me and he said, bro, they in the show. And I'm like, what's the show? He's like, Euroleague. He's like, bro, they playing in the show. Like, you have to go there. Like, players don't normally go straight to Euroleague. He's like, bro, you have to go. And I'm like, all right. And I call my agent. I'm like, bro, yeah,
let's do this.
Let's try Red Star. Yeah.
Yeah, but Milan was playing in the Euroleague too.
Yeah, but it was early on. It was when we were still like undecisive about where I wanted to go, if I wanted to go to training camp and things like that. But when Red Star came, they came, and just how Pargo reacted to it, I was like, let's give this a try.
And he was playing for Maccabi, right?
No, he signed back in he signed in Ceska that year.
Where in?
Ceska.
CSK. Oh yeah, couldn't remember that. And who could be the person who contacted Čarls and his agent? Like, we're talking about 2013, 2014?
2013, yeah.
Košarkaški was there as I believe.
Someone saw it.
Or Davor.
It's got to be someone.
Yeah, somebody has to saw him, of course.
And that was the journey to Serbia. Did you know anything about Serbia?
Absolutely
like
nothing. Nothing.
I remember any dudes from
nothing.
Serbia?
My agent, he mailed me some books, and he sent me a bunch of YouTube links of some games and the environment, and that was enough.
And when you came here, what was the first reaction when you saw the city and everything? Not the fans,
the
not
first
the
reaction
games.
was, I want to go home.
Yeah, it was like that for me too when I was in the States for the time. Like, this is it, I'm going back.
But it was a little bit different, honest, because I didn't go straight into Belgrade. I went to Hotel Orešac. Orešac.
What's that?
It's in
somewhere close.
Yeah,
right?
it's just not. I live close to there now, so of course it's me growing up and knowing my way around the city is an amazing place to be. But at that time, coming from New York City, going straight there and not seeing Belgrade, because I went there, we stayed in the hotel, we ate at a restaurant close, did our physicals, and then we went straight to Zlatibor. So I didn't see Belgrade from the first 2 weeks. And I was really like, bro, come on, man. I want to go home.
Did you talk to Gennaro Dan? And
Pargo, yeah. I called him. I called him, and he knew some people here that would look out for me. But we were in Zlatibor for so long, and I've already built relationships with my teammates early on, so I didn't really need the people that he was suggesting to me. But we did speak a lot.
But DeMarcus was there, right?
DeMarcus Nelson, and Blake Shield.
Blake Shield.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about him. He was not playing for Czech Republic this summer. He played for Czech Republic, yeah. And let's talk about that first season. When you saw the fans, when you saw everything, that just got to be something special, right?
I mean, it was weird, honestly.
And tell me, at Hofstra, there was like a gym with maybe 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, but like,
places, right?
Yeah,
totally different, right?
It's students.
Yeah, but it wasn't a big gym, right?
Big gym, but a lot of students, and it was more like a family environment.
Yeah.
So it was it was reserved, honestly. Yep. Some games were really rowdy and things. Of course, I can't say rowdy now because I play here, but some games were full, but it can't compare to how it is here. But the first time I saw fans here was we played a friendly game, and it was something I've never seen before. We both teams went onto the floor, and right before the ref threw the ball into the air, the fans start throwing like papers, like a bunch of papers all over the floor, and it was a friendly game. And in my head I was like thinking that, maybe security's gonna come and start getting rid of the people that did it. But then one of the guys that we were playing against, he said to me, "This is nothing. Wait till the season start." So I was like, okay, we'll see. Our first game was on the road at Adriatic League, a game we lost. We shouldn't have lost that game. So I still didn't see it. And then we played Radnički first game in Evroliga, and it was a nice environment. Not as loud as I thought, but it was like a really good environment for a first game. And then we played Lokomotiv in the arena. And then that's when I was like, okay, this is basketball. This is the environment that I saw on my phone before I got here. And
the first Partizan game, did you know anything about the rivalry and everything?
I knew about it just from how different the preparation was for them. I knew that they were also a EuroLeague team, but I could just kind of feel the locker room change and how important the game was. So from then on, I knew. And of course, at that time, they practiced in Pioneer. So we saw them all the time. If we practiced at 10, from 10 to 12, they probably practice, from 11 to 1.
Who's there, the guy from America who played for Partizan? You know?
Who, TK? Yeah, I knew TK. I knew Torrance Kinsey because he was in training camp with the Warriors when I was there. So we were able to hang out a little bit.
You knew him before, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Torrance Kinsey, you remember that?
He was excellent that time in Partizan.
And still, when he came to Red Star, he was still there.
Not that good.
Yeah. True.
But in Partizan, he was amazing.
Yeah.
I liked that
Yeah,
whatever he was doing, it was nice.
Yep. And that first year, when you look back, like, would you change anything? Well, you had
of course I would. Of course, there's one thing I would change. Of course,
but still,
which one?
That horrible weekend that we had.
Yeah.
Adriatic Final Four, of course.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about games and everything, but you being here, like, would you change anything? Would you? I mean, you had your place on the court. You had a lot of minutes, and you proved yourself. But when you look back, like, was that the good year for you?
Yeah, it was a great year for me, honestly. I think DeMarcus Nelson was really important for my success.
He was so big because he came from Duke, and like,
he was the first American to sign here 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
and I spent a lot of time with him, just talking, and he would tell me about teams and how important this game was and how important home court was in the Adriatic League, and he would always stress like what needed to be done, and he was really he critiqued me a lot, but in a good way. Like, I never took it personal. And on another note, he showed me Belgrade. He showed me everything that Belgrade can offer an American. So, and then I also had a really good relationship with, Luka Mitrovic. Jaka Blazic lived upstairs from me. I think I was just in a perfect situation. I was around really good guys, great teammates. It was a positive locker room. A coach that was tough, but I liked how tough he was because I knew, and because people always told me, if you can survive Serbia, you can play. If you can survive Serbian basketball, you can play. Dejan Radonic.
Oh, he was the coach, yeah.
Okay. That was his first full season. So
first.
I ended up signing halfway through for the next season because I just was happy where I was, and for me that goes back to my childhood because. As far as being the best in New York, I never had that. As far as being earning the kind of respect that I wanted, I never got it. And when I got here, the kind of acceptance I got from the locker room, from the coach, from fans, or I don't like to call them fans, but my peers, it just made me really comfortable, So it was easy for me to like just move around like I wanted to. And from that, I could say that I honestly wouldn't change anything because that's how my love for Serbia began.
And when you compare it that time to today, when people met you in the street, is there anything different?
Nah, not really.
Still, right?
Same, yeah. Just everyone's a little older.
Yeah. At the same time,
all the little kids are, 16 and 17 now.
Yep.
But it's the same love, yeah.
Yes, but your kind of game showed to the fans who you are. I always like to talk about how important it is to each player give to the team, not to himself.
Yeah.
And for me, watching all those years, you never was the player who wants to score and to be best scorer or whatever. You just wanted job to be done. And I believe that all of people who likes basketball appreciate you for that, because you never played easy way. You played defense. You did dirty job. You did whatever it's necessary to win.
Yeah, that's just the environment that we were in. We had a really talented team with a lot of good players, and for me, I never had success being the one man show. Never. High school, never won anything being a one man show. College, never won anything being a one-man show. So coming here and having an actual role, like you do this, and this will help us win. Okay. And this person will have his job, and all of us will have 5 jobs on the floor that's going to collectively come together and help us win. And you mean to tell me that if I score 8 points, but I play really good defense, that's a good game here? It's fine. That's cool. I'm good with that. And I was happy with that. And I was happy with winning. I was happy with how it felt to win. I was happy with the environment in the locker room when we won, and the environment in some restaurants when we won a game. And I was honestly good with that. And I still am. Like, I'm not a selfish person. I come from humble beginnings, like I said. Professional basketball wasn't a for sure thing for me. There wasn't like, I wasn't young and guys were saying, oh, he's going to be a pro when he get older. You know, it wasn't like that. And I don't forget those things. I don't forget when I finally made All-City, they spelled my name wrong. So these are things that I think about. I think of how far I came, and any opportunity I get to play, I want to give my all, especially here, because I was given the opportunity to come here and be myself. Coach didn't ask me to do anything that I couldn't do. And it was sometimes he believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Yes.
But that's something like as a player, you want that. When you have that kind of relationship with your coach, you know, even though our language barrier was so different, I was able to understand what he wanted. And not only from him, my teammates were saying the same thing. So I just felt so comfortable, and I'm like, I have to do this. Like I have to.
You can imagine the language barrier then.
Oh my God, he only knew bad words.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it's probably better now, but it's...
it's so much better. It's 100% better.
You saw him at the
100% better.
Press conference. Yes. It's much different.
Mm-hmm.
And people asking a lot of questions, but let's connect this to this phase of conversation. What's your favorite game playing for the Red Star? They mentioned here Budivelnik, they mentioned Fenerbahce, Unix. Can you pick one?
I can't really pick one.
But
actually, I can't pick one. My favorite game is, it changes. So like, it depends on the day you ask me. Sometimes I like beating Cedevita for the Adriatic Championship the second year. Some days I like the Finner game, just because I think about how much we prepare for them. Think about when they went small, they put Kalinic at the 5 in the first half, and we were able to adjust. I'm thinking about how well Dejan coached that day. Thinking about how well Kuz played. We beat Česka that year at home. Budivelnik game, of course.
Tell me about
so
a little
tough,
bit
man.
about it. Like getting on that zone. I remember when Carmelo scored like 47 in the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
He said, just a small group of people know how is it to get in this zone. And I like to believe that I'm one of those people, because sometimes it just, when I played in college, it happened. But you were in the zone.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
Like, is this happening? But at the same time, normally, if I miss a shot, I'll normally correct it in my head. So, okay, maybe I need to bring my elbow in a little bit more. Maybe I wasn't on balance. But that day, everything I threw in, it was going in. And I remember the first half, we were trying our best to execute the game plan, and we were like missing some shots. Like, we didn't play bad in the first half, but we're missing our normal shots. And going into halftime, DeMarcus said to me, you're being a little too passive. And if we're going to win, I need you to, stop passing up your open shots, and start taking them. And I was like, okay. And I remember it was like one play, Roscoe set a screen, which Roscoe's probably one of the best screeners. And I was wide open. Like, it was no one there. And I was like, man. And I made the shot, and I kind of like said something to myself, like a couple curse words to myself. And then I just felt like relieved. And most players, when they make a shot, you kind of feel like at ease, a little bit. And I felt that. And then the next one went in, and then I started to get layups and get fouls and make like the right plays. And I was like, just feeling the game. And coach really wasn't subbing me out, but I remember the environment, it was so hot. Like, the ball felt crazy in my hands, but it was just a crazy day. And then going into overtime, the first shot, I was wide open. There was no one there. Ivan set a good screen, and there was no one there. And I made the first one, and can you curse here? Can you curse on this show?
Yeah, of course. You can say
they say popping shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I start popping shit, but to myself,
Yeah.
and just feeling like just building my own confidence. And the next shot was in the corner when they called a timeout, but I was I was just, it was a really tall guy that switched on me. And I remember saying, like, go ahead, put your hand down. I said it, like, put your hand down. And he put his hand down, and I saw the rim, and I shot it, and it went in. And that's when I started, like, jumping and saying, this is my house. And I've been living in Serbia for 6 months, and I was saying, this is my house. But, yeah, that felt crazy. That was a crazy day.
Would it be any different if DeMarcus didn't say that at the halftime?
Yeah, I think we still would have won the game, but I don't think that would have happened. Yeah.
Everybody says that he's like a genius, not just in basketball. That he can like psychologically be like someone.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. He's
not playing anymore, right?
No, he's not playing no more, but he's found success after basketball for sure.
Yeah, that's good. So the second year with the Red Star, it was a great year, right?
I mean, that's for the team, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
In the beginning of the season, I wasn't anywhere near who I was the year before.
Really?
Played really bad for months. Had a really bad start.
But the end of the year was great.
And then in the Adriatic playoffs, I played pretty well, and we were able to win the Cup, Adriatic, and Serbian League.
Yeah, that was the year when everything changed.
Yes, but that was the year when people realized not just stuff, but the fans, they realize who they have in a team. That's what I'm saying, all these things. That you showed who you are. Mm-hmm. And even those problems that you had and everybody has in his career, nobody actually thought that you're not going to be like you were in recent future. And what I heard from the fans and the people around, that they were just waiting. They knew about you that you are not in a good shape. But trust me, there are some things when somebody is with a different kind of game, he received more critics. For you, they had they understood that you are going to be better, and that's what I'm saying when I'm trying to say that they felt that you are playing for the team, and it's much different.
They asked him about, did you know Kuz before?
Nah.
Because he was in the Warriors too?
Nah, I didn't know him. Nope.
Yeah.
He was in Pana after that too.
Yeah.
And then he came to Red Star. No, I didn't know him.
Yeah.
Nope.
And let's move from Red Star at this moment. Like, you went like forward. Your next team was
Milan,
yeah. Mm-hmm. But that year, did you feel like you're not at home anymore? People are asking here, like, do you really feel like this is your home?
I do.
Yeah, like not the second home, but really you feel like this is...
As far as abroad, yeah. Of course. And
when you went to Italy, what changed? That season was like...
When I went to Italy, it was just a different... It was just different, honestly.
Yeah. It's true, like the American players got their own locker room, and the
no. Well, I think maybe a couple years ago it was like that, but we were all in the same locker room, and I think that was my first time with a role that I wasn't really comfortable in. And I remember we had like a film one time, and he had highlights of players from their previous clubs, and he was saying like, this is what I want from you. So we had Oliver Lafayette, and they show him, making threes and making plays. They show Gentile, posting up. They show he had a nice highlight tape, dunks and everything. And then it got to mine, and it showed me pressuring the ball full court. Like it wasn't any shots on there. It was just like a lot of pressure, guard the best player, blah, blah. And I never had that role where I had to just do this, like, okay, you're going to guard the best player, and on offense, you stand in the corner, and if you get a shot, take it. And that's what I saw. That's what my role was, because of course we had a lot of good players. We had Bruno Simone, we had Gentile. We ended up getting Rakim Sanders. Other guys that had more experience in Europe that were really good. And I never been on a team like that. So getting that role, I struggled because there was some games I didn't take a shot. and I had 4 fouls because I'm guarding the best player that's attacking me every chance he got. So it was hard to adjust to that role. Like, man, it was hard to mentally adjust to that role. And it was some games where the fourth quarter, it was no chance I was getting in the final minutes. Well, not even having the ball in my hand. It was chances. It was times where I wasn't even on the floor. And playing in Red Star 2 years, most of the biggest situations on the floor, like I was one of the 5 players on the floor. And I was like, man, this is so different that it wasn't really fun. Of course, I worked and I did what I was supposed to do, but it just wasn't fun playing that way. So even for that season, I spoke to Dayon the entire time, like every chance I got. And that's a year, to make matters worse, Red Star went to the playoffs that year. And I love Red Star, of course, but I wanted to be on a team that went to Euroleague playoffs. So my guys are having amazing success here, and I was in Milan, like, we didn't even make top 16.
Did you want to come back right away, like in the middle of the season, or like
not through the middle of the season, because of course Milan is a nice place, and I love like being there, and my family loved to be there, and I wanted to stick it out and not just quit on what was going on. But the moment the season ended, I knew that I was coming back here, because we spoke the entire time. We spoke. That's the most I spoke to Dayon and Draghi, like, from being at another club. Like, we spoke a lot. So I was mentally saying, okay, this season's going to be finished, and when I go home, I'm going to train as hard as I can and go back to Red Star and have a good year.
You went back home, right? In the summer, right?
Yeah, the summer, yeah.
Yeah. And when you came back, was like the same thing, the same team, the same teammates? Of course,
it was like
the same drills, everything.
Yes, it was like landing back in your hometown after 10 months. All my teammates, everyone that I knew, all the staff that I knew, all management, everyone that I knew, fans that I knew, the kind of practices that I was prepared for, the expectations, I already knew what it was, and I was ready.
Yeah. So when I gotta ask you this, because I cannot remember what year that was, but you mentioned your sister at the beginning. You know where I'm going with this, right?
No, yeah.
The clip that went viral.
Yeah, that was the second year. That was my second season.
Yeah. And was she really like stunned with everything that happened?
Yeah, she was stunned because she never been to a EuroLeague game before here, and she's been to a lot of Adriatic games. She's been to some Serbian league games, but she always come to Belgrade in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And the beginning, like the first couple of games is Asiatic games before EuroLeague, and she would always be there for those first 2 days in Pioneer. That was her first time in the arena. So of course, my brother-in-law, he watched every game, and he had his outfit laid out ready, and she had her outfit, but she didn't know like what the environment was going to be.
Her, right?
Yeah, he was recording everyone.
Yeah, but still, it looked like he was not scared, but he was like surprised.
But he was surprised because he watched it on his phone.
Okay.
And when your phone in real life is two different things,
Yep.
For her, she don't watch it on her phone. She just, support when she get here. So she was shocked, and she felt the floor, and no, she wasn't scared. That's just her face. Like her, like to a lot of people, they thought she was afraid, but that's her face of like saying like, what's going on, And when they were jumping like that, she just never seen anything like that, so she was a little bit shocked.
Yeah, she's still coming to Belgrade.
Yeah, she's coming for sure.
Yeah. So the next year, you went to Himki, totally different, right?
Yeah,
totally different place in the Europe, like geographically, and everybody who came here talk about Russia, like everything is so different. Did you feel that?
Yeah,
like
of course.
Himki.
The weather was a big problem for me.
Yeah.
Not seeing the sun so often. But I was with Stefan Markovic, and he played a major role in how my life was in Khimki, because one, we never met, but for every place that I've been and I've came across Serbian players, like the ones that call me Jenka, like those are the ones that I'm like, man, like we're gonna be cool, just because like they are aware of like how much I like Serbia. So the moment I met him, we spoke a lot. Of course, he invited me to his house with his wife and his kids. They both are like my family now, but at the time, like they were like, it was just an amazing place to be because I was there alone. And of course, Russia has its challenges, but being around him, Malcolm Thomas, Alexi, Tyler Honeycutt, they made it welcoming for me when I was there.
Yeah, but the staff and the coaches and the president, Stefan Jovic was here, and he talked about his time in Himki when he said, like, I had coronavirus, and they were like, you're good, don't worry about it. Did you feel like it wasn't that close like in Restar, right?
No, it's not like Restar is like, it's like a more family environment.
Yeah.
Like Micho is Restar's physio, and that's like a family member of mine. And everywhere I've been, I've always contacted him when something was wrong. When if we played Restar, he always checked my hand out or made sure I was good, gave me something to take, on the way back. So it's not like that, but I'm also the kind of person, like, I don't really like getting treatment like that. So I wouldn't know, like, if something happened, like there are things that never happened to me like that there. So I can't really say, I had that experience. It was just once I was throwing up all night, and they put me on they gave me like this IV for a very long time, and my arm like blew up. But other than that, I didn't really have any bad experiences with the staff.
Then you went and came back to the Red Star again.
Yeah.
That was the third time, right?
Yeah, third time, yeah.
What do you remember from that?
I just remember that wasn't a good season.
Yeah, it wasn't like, you didn't feel it like...
Nah. I mean, we had a lot of talent, but I think we had too much talent.
Yeah.
It was too many different roles. We had a lot of scorers. We had Kevin Punter, Lorenzo Brown, James Giss, Stimuts. I think that's it I like
still, with
score first kind of guys, and it's just not what I'm used to.
It's funny he mentioned Stimuts as one of the scorers, right?
Yeah.
He was here.
Yeah, he could score. He's a scorer.
Yeah.
You put the ball in the low post, he's gonna score.
Yeah.
So like, I think that was a little bit too much for what I was used to, because for the first time I was like, damn, I don't know what kind of role I can have here, just because it was so many other guys that fulfilled, the scoring role that I was really out of place, honestly. And we had 3 coaches that season. It was just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he mentioned like Lorenzo and Kevin, and he mentioned Stimuts, it's like, he was
a scorer.
Yeah, he can score.
He's right.
Of course.
When he received the ball, he scores.
Yeah. And he was here a couple of weeks ago and talking about so many things, like totally different. Both of them are talking about their childhoods and everything, but totally different.
Totally different. Yes.
What happened?
But both of them have the same contact and same feeling.
Yep. Even though it's totally different. But anyway, relationship with Kevin and Lorenzo, did you felt like it was the same when DeMarcus was here, like connection and everything? Because it didn't feel like that on the court.
I mean, I think they had a close relationship amongst each other. Yeah. So for me, of course, Kevin Punter's, that's my guy. Like, we're close. We talk very often. Lorenzo is more reserved into himself.
Yeah.
So I don't really have the same relationship with him. Of course, Zoe and I are cool. We never had an issue. But I didn't do a good job at being like the experienced player and communicating with them as well. So it wasn't like DeMarcus, but they also were able to come here and make adjustments on their own that were good enough for the club.
Kevin's a cool guy, right?
Great guy.
Yeah. And when you watch Lorenzo playing for the Spain, did you watch it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Everybody is asking, like, would you play for the Serbia? And you said something a couple of weeks ago, like you wouldn't play because you respect the Serbia so much. Like you think it's better for Serbian players to play. But when you see him, is there anything like in your mind, well, I can do this with Serbia?
Nope, not at all. No.
But before?
Never. From the moment I received my passport, I already knew that they prefer Serbian-born players. That's the first thing that I was told. And then just being here and my relationships with so many people that play here and live here, I've literally watched guys from playing 16 Serbian national team go to 18 and junior, and you know they move up every year. They move up and play from a national team. So, and Serbia this is a basketball place. Like they groom a lot of great players, come here and get better and have successful careers. So from my perspective is, how dare I come here and try to even consider playing for the national team when you have literally kids that have been playing for the national team since they were 16.
Yeah.
And that's their opportunity. That, like, it makes me happy when the year Lazic got called up and he made the team. That's my guy. Yeah, of course. You represent your country. You're born here.
It's 2017, right? Lazic
got called up. Dobric is playing now.
Yeah.
Marko Guduric was playing. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. The guys that grew up here and everyone knows how hard it is playing in Serbia and how hard the practices are. Like they deserve that. I don't deserve to step on the floor and represent a country that I didn't put the same amount of hours that they put in. Like that's not right. Of course, other countries, I understand that they would prefer some help. I know Ukraine they had Americans. Croatia had Americans.
Yeah. Most of the countries.
But Serbia never.
Yeah. But I think that the fans respect you for that statement.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is that Spain is even better than us, but they choose this way. They even had more kids, and if you probably didn't know that in nine selections this year, they won either gold or silver.
Yeah, with our
16, 18, 20, men and women.
Which is like crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and still
everything they played, they had silver or gold.
It was so crazy when they called Zoe. Everybody's like, why? Because they got so many good point guards and everything.
Mm-hmm. But
and
it was success.
It was success, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good success. So you want to talk a little bit about your third time leaving the Red Star and going to Greece?
Yeah.
That was
during the pandemic too.
Yeah.
And I had an opportunity to come back, but I felt like that year, like I was so close to just like tarnishing everything that I built here. Just because my shooting percentages was horrible. We lost so many games we shouldn't have lost. I know we lost to Badujnos at home. We lost to Kirka away.
Yeah, Kirka.
Like, come on.
Remember that gym?
No disrespect to Kirka.
Well, I was thinking, it looked like it's...
Come on, man. We lost to them at home, on the road. And I just didn't feel the same. And I didn't feel like I could give the same. So I don't want to be that version of myself here, you know? So it was an opportunity for me to go play for Brasovkis again. Brasovkis, I played for him a year and a half in Kimki, and we were super close. I have a really good relationship outside of basketball. And then his brother-in-law called me and asked me about my situation and would I like to come play there. And I was like, you know, it's a historic club and it's an Orthodox brother, a Red Star. Of course, I would take the opportunity to go play there.
Did you like it there? Like the Greece as a people, Greeks?
I spent a lot of time at home just because it was a lot of rules with COVID. So I didn't really get to experience the city like that. But my girlfriend liked running and working out on the beach every morning and while I was at practice. So it was a nice experience. I just wish on the basketball floor we were better.
Moving to Spain, what was that like?
Oh, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, Tenerife was nice.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to go home.
They got tapas over there too, right? Tapas? No?
I think so.
That's just for Andalusia. Like you go to a coffee house and they just bring you food.
Even there.
Yeah, and just change it and you don't pay for it. That's just different part of Spain.
I was getting ready to go home because Olympiacos didn't play domestic league that year.
Yeah.
And spoke to Mishko and he told me that Tenerife needed a guard and he think I should go play there. And after a million conversations in my head and with my girl, we said, come on, let's just take this chance. Maybe it'll be different. And when I got there, it was similar to the environment here as far as the locker room. Everyone's close, super supportive. They were helpful the entire time I got there. The coach had his clear expectations of what he wanted from me, and it was similar to the player that I was when I was here. play defense, don't pass up open shots, be aggressive. And I was having some hard time adjusting to that role because I just came from Olympiacos where I stood in the corner, and past 3 years I've been standing in the corner. So it felt good, like just to be there and play. And I was around a really good group of guys, and it was an amazing city to be in. So I was really happy for those 3 months that I was there.
You like the weather, right?
The weather was great, everything.
Yeah.
The travel was a little tough, but when you land in Tenerife, it's all worth it. So it was pretty good.
Vučević told us about the weather from Orlando, Florida,
Yeah.
when he moved to Chicago. And he
Yeah,
said,
Oh yeah, it's night and day. Yeah.
I didn't know this exists.
Yeah.
Is it true what the Tenerife airport is like really hard to land there? Is that one?
No. We
it's
didn't have any
Bilbao,
problems.
right?
Yeah, maybe Bilbao. Maybe. Yeah. We had an issue in Bilbao before.
Really?
Yeah, with Red Star.
With Red Star?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because we played them in Eurocup, and the plane had a weird landing, and we ended up going back and flying to Madrid and then driving to Bilbao. So
It's like a common thing for Bilbao, It's not for the pilots. It's like
it's a rough
do
landing.
this.
Mhm.
So coming back to Serbia, first I want to ask you. You mentioned Miško, and it looks like players trust him. You got that kind of relationship with him. Trust him all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always looks
knows.
out for the best interests of his players.
Was he the one who mentioned coming back to Belgrade, playing for FMP?
So the way I work with Miško is my agent in the States and him have a relationship.
Oh, okay.
So while I'm here, Miško takes care of me, and while his players in the States, whatever they need, my agent, take care of them. So after taking a year off for some personal reasons, my mom's health was at the forefront of my mind, and I can't really perform knowing that my mom is not doing well. And she expressed to me that she would like for me to stay home and be around because she was unsure of what was going to happen in the next couple of months. And I was 100% like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And of course I love to play and I followed every game, but my family is that's everything. If you're a part of my family, then you know how I feel about you. So I stayed home, and after maybe September, FMP reached out to me, and I just out of my respect for them, I didn't want to waste their time, and I was just like, I have some real issues at home, and I can't, even if I was to say yes now for this season, I wouldn't be myself mentally. And they respected it, and they contacted me again later in a couple months just to check on me and ask how I'm doing, how's my family. Of course, Filip Jovic is a brother of mine, and he called and asked me how I was doing and how's my mom and how's my mental and things like that. It was nothing basketball related, and I was like, things are going this way right now, and hopefully they'll get better. And it was always in the back of my mind, like I know that when you take a year off in Europe, it's going to be hard to find a job. And I was willing to take whatever was coming. And my agent called me. It was so funny. This is a real thing that happened. So I wasn't sure of how my mom was going to be health-wise, if she was improving or not. So I filled out a job application just to have some type of work if I was going to stay home again. And then my agent called me the next day and he said, "Are you retired?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not retired." I'm like, "But, home is a little strange right now." And he's like, "Well, it's going to be tough to get a job. I just spoke to Miško." And he's like, "Well, if you tell me that you're still going to try to play, maybe I need to get to work." And I was like, "Okay." And then he hung up. And maybe 1 hour he called me back, and he was like, "F&P?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, they're still interested, same like last year. And got off the phone with him. And Filip reached out to me, and I expressed how thankful I am for the opportunity to be here and play for F&P, and thanked him really for, taking a chance on me just because of what I've been through for the last, season. And here I am.
Did you practice during the time?
At home, I practiced, but inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because I knew I wasn't going to be home. I was going to be home for the entire year, so I was inconsistent. And I coached high school basketball with my brother, one of my best friend, but I call him my brother. And towards that time, I started to train as if I was preparing to come to Europe.
Yeah, and where are you now with your mindset and everything? We can talk about what happened last week. Was that like a big blow for you guys?
Yeah, it was a big opportunity for us to play Champions League.
Yeah.
And we did an amazing amount of preparation as far as friendly games, practices. Coach did everything he could to prepare us, and unfortunately, the last game wasn't our night.
Yeah. What happened on 72-69? 3 points for FMP?
Yeah, we were plus 3.
They scored 3?
They hit a 3, yeah. And then we came down, missed. Actually, one of our guys missed a free throw to go up 4, and we went up 3, and we had a little miscommunication on defense, and the guy hit a really far shot to tie the game, and we came down and turned the ball over, and then we ended up going in overtime.
Last second, it was overtime.
Yeah.
Overtime, yeah. And
overtime was pretty bad.
But again, yeah. We didn't shoot the ball well. I mean, unfortunately, in the game of basketball, somebody have to lose. I mean, as much as we prepared and we've done everything to where I felt we deserve to win. Of course, we made some small mistakes, but yeah, that hurt.
The good thing is you're gonna focus only on Adriatic Alba League, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be what's the goal there?
The goal is to compete. I think we have a really good team. Some young guys that are highly motivated to prove themselves, and we have some veterans that are motivated to prove that they can still play as well. And we have a really good coach. It's a great environment to be in. I think it's the best possible environment I could be in coming back, just because I have motivation to prove that I can still play. And I have a locker room full of guys that want to get to the next level as basketball players. So, and also a coach who's potentially going to be, coaching at a higher level too. So it's just a great environment of hungry people that's trying to prove themselves.
Do you have different role in this team as a most experienced one?
I mean, I thought I did, but coach, he reached out to me in the summertime and he asked me what kind of role that I want. And I'm not saying that I said, this is what I want. And he said, okay. But he just wanted to see if it was what he saw. And he expressed to me how he wanted me to be myself and be aggressive. And also he expected me to play defense. And that's just a perfect situation for me to be in.
They're asking about, we can move to the questions from the audience. Do you have any funny stories or an anecdote with Quincy?
Oh, I wasn't here with him.
With maybe they're thinking about the TK.
With TK?
Yeah.
I wasn't here with him either.
Really?
Nah.
All right.
Quincy and TK was here together.
No, but when he was playing Partizan.
Oh, no, but I didn't really see him like that. Yeah.
There's a lot of questions. I cannot even see this.
I have some questions here.
Yeah, he's going on the different platforms. So they're asking, how long is your passport due?
Oh, that's a great question. 2025. So
25. Yeah.
Whoever's watching over there at the passport agency, I would like a new one.
Yeah. 10 years you got it for 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years, yeah.
And you got anyone?
Yeah, I got. You already said where did you feel like at home in Belgrade. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite food in Serbia?
Yeah,
but I want to continue when you say.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I can't really answer that because it's a lot of Serbian dishes that I like. So I don't have like a favorite. This is a select few that if it's in front of me, I'm not gonna be upset.
Why I'm asking because there is a small message which says in 2014 Mega against Crvena Zvezda, 2 kids 16 years old, they somehow made it through security and they wanted to talk to you and they said, what is your favorite food? And then you said moussaka. And and now he says, my question is it still the same?
No, see, the thing is, when I first got here, DeMarcus had a chef.
His own, right?
Yeah, and I asked him because it was so convenient because we practiced twice a day, and I didn't want to come home and try to find food. So he got me a chef as well, but she turned into like my Serbian mom. Her name is Mira, and just in the beginning, she was trying to trying to fill me out of what I like. So it was a lot of like the same thing: chicken salad, chicken salad. And after like 2 months of it, I was really tired of it, honestly. And I said to her, like, I was like, on days where we don't have like 2 practices, like you can make me a traditional Serbian dish. Like, it's fine, I'll try it. And then from then on, I was able to just, she was, and
she was on fire.
Like in Serbia, like it's one thing to have, this is my opinion, so anybody that's watching, like, don't kill me, but in Serbia, when I get food from a restaurant, a Serbian dish from a restaurant, it's not the same as getting it from the home, like,
of course.
You know what I mean? Like, there's been times where teammates of mine invited me to their slavas, and I've had really authentic Serbian food. In the environment that I lived in, there was an older couple that, rest in peace, they both passed away, but they were like my grandparents when I was here, and they cooked as well. So I was always, either in my apartment or I was in their apartment, and of course I had no idea what they were saying, but did we drink dunya and have dinner together? Of course.
They were just neighbors, right?
Just neighbors, yeah. Just lived on the 3rd floor. So I'm saying that to say I've experienced a lot. I like Juvic, I like Cevapi, of course. I like what is it, Punja na paprika?
Yeah,
I like that.
Sarma, everybody.
Sarma, of course.
Beans, possible to eat.
Beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't remember. I don't think I've had much dishes with that.
But beans here and beans in the States are totally different.
Yeah. Like those are like my 4. Like that.
But still, do you go to fast food joints like here, KFC and McDonald's?
Nah, because I can get that at home.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
And when you're at home, which one do you like?
When I'm at home,
Wendy's?
I don't really. We eat like just either Jamaican food, Indian food. My girlfriend likes Indian food. She likes Mexican food. So we normally go to like those kind of restaurants. So we don't really go to like food chains like that.
Yeah. But you go to buffets?
Nah.
No?
No.
Yeah. They're asking here, this is like maybe a trick question. Your relationship with Gentile, and did you guys did some movie together?
Movie?
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh my God.
No way.
Yeah, they're just playing. But Gentile, was you close to him?
Yeah, we were cool.
Yeah.
We were really cool. We went out a lot. We were young. We went out a lot. And he was just getting ready to be one of the top players in Europe that year.
Yeah. And so many NBA teams were interested, and then he went to place, and he's just switching teams in Italy. But he got some like really, really bad injury.
Yeah, he had like a hand. He had a hand injury, and I heard recently he had like an accident.
Yeah.
So
he needs to switch like his shooting technique and everything. They're asking what part of the Belgrade you live. Now you're close to.
Now I live close to Železnik.
Yeah,
now.
And before you first.
Senjak.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like it?
Really?
Yeah, that's like close to me.
Yeah. I love Senjak. Yeah. Stolachka. Yeah, that's where I live.
That's a really nice neighborhood.
Yeah, that's a Red Star neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ultra Boys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
Did you watch European Championship?
Yeah, I watched.
Because they ask you about your opinion about Serbia's team, and who is the most talented player you played against here in Serbia?
Like a Serbian-born player, you mean? Of course, I watched the championship. Like I said, I always support teammates or guys that I played against, especially here, just because I know them. And I think that they always fall like just short. They always have like a really good team, and unfortunately, there's always a game that kind of stopped them from being where I think they should be. The best Serbian player I played against, I mean, probably Bogdanović, Vasa Misic.
You played against Jokic, like against Mega when he was there, right?
Yeah, I played against Jokic when he was in Mega, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? I don't want to leave anybody out. I really can't pronounce his name. But he played for Partizan as well. He was like a shooting guard.
Andjušić?
Nah, I didn't play against him when he was in Partizan.
Oh,
he went from Partizan to Berlin, I think, and then
Jaramaz.
Or Lučić?
No. No, he went from Partizan to Berlin.
Oh, Alba.
And then Berlin to Malaga.
Milosavljević?
Yeah.
Gagi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was a great
tough.
defensive player,
He's
right?
Tough, yeah, and he's strong.
Yeah. He's here. He's playing for... oh, no. He's playing somewhere
I don't know.
big.
He got injured very bad and everything changed. He was extremely strong.
He could shoot, good defense.
And opposite spin of the ball.
Yeah.
But it was in.
Yeah.
But his knee is like...
He got a problem.
Really bad shape. They asking... We had an idea here, like that the U.S. team should play with the ex-Yugoslavia team, like the, Serbia, Croatia, and we should just mix it up. What do you think about that? Who would win?
It's Luka's idea.
What kind of rules?
Well, we're talking about FIBA rules.
Oh, FIBA rules?
Yeah. It will be a close game,
I think
right?
it'll be a close game, yeah.
Yeah.
The rules play a major part of it, though, because you're able to play defense. But if
what do you think about that?
NBA rules, then that court is the rules are way different.
Yep. You follow NBA today?
I watch sometimes.
You got a league pass and everything?
Yeah, but I don't really watch. I don't watch it while I'm here. But when I was home, I watched a lot.
Yeah. You got any preferences, like who's gonna win or
nah? I just
favorite team.
Nah, see, it's different. When I watch European basketball, I watch to see who's gonna win.
Yeah.
NBA, I'm more impressed by the skill level. What kind of moves, what kind of moves they do, what kind of shots they make, what kind of shots they take. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for when I watch NBA game. But I'm not really looking. I can't watch 48 minutes on edge trying to see who's gonna win. I'm more impressed with shot selection and things that they're able to do. Yeah.
What was it like for Brooklyn, for Nets to move from New Jersey to Brooklyn? Was it like the big thing for the
it was
community?
A big thing. Yeah, it was a big thing. I have family that live downtown. That's downtown Brooklyn. So of course I know how excited they are. And my cousin this year, I think he still believed that they're gonna win the championship, and he kept telling me like
next year.
He kept asking me like, what team do you like? And I'm like, I don't have a favorite team. And he's like, all right, you're not invited to the parade.
Yeah. Maybe we can ask a free back question.
Yeah.
We got 3 questions for the audience that is about our guests. So the first question is, should I do it in English in Serbian?
Do it in Serbian.
Ja, okay. U kom kraju je odrastao Čarls Dženkins? Dakle, ne u kom je odrastao, već gde je rođen? Dakle, pre Queensa, u kom kraju je rođen Jenkins i prvi koji odgovori, dakle dobija 1000 dinara free beta. To znači da ste pratili od početka. Tako da, to je dakle prvo pitanje za free bet i čekamo odgovore. Čekaj samo da prebacim na ovaj live chat.
Prebacija ne bude zabavno.
Da vidiš koliko dugo smo u stvari davali pogrešno free betove. Prosto nevjerojatno, da. You got a lot of people thanking you for what you did in Serbia and Red Star. Like, you got so many greetings and everybody. It's crazy to mention. But Dragan Savić said Brownsville, and he actually, it's not Brownsville in Serbian. It's in English.
It's in English.
No, you spelled it.
Yeah, Dragane, znaš kako je drill, dakle, šalješ na Luka i Kuzma Instagram, šalješ MaxBet ID i dobiješ free bet, tako da...
You saw that picture from Belgian game I sent you today?
Oh, yeah.
Fans
I saw,
who are watching
who was
you.
there? Yeah, I was hearing Jenka a couple times.
How did you get the nickname?
Marko Simonović.
Marko Simonović,
yes.
Yeah. The first year, right?
From maybe the first day I got here.
Really?
That's probably a funny story to tell.
Okay.
So, Blake Shield and DeMarcus Nelson, we got to Zlatibor, and of course it's like a hotel that we stayed in, and they gave them their keys, and they were the first 2 rooms, before and I was the 3rd room. So DeMarcus opened the door, it's 1 bed in there. He got his own room. I'm like, okay. And then Blake opened his door and he has 1 room, 1 bed. And I'm like, okay. So they gave me my own room. Okay, that's cool. I opened the door and it's a big room. And I'm like, man, this is a big room for 1 person. This is crazy. So as I got like closer to the door, it was, I heard a shower running. And I'm like, man, I got a roommate. Like this is... And it's not, the 2 Americans got their own room. So I'm like, man, I don't know any of these guys on the team. They put me in a room with someone, and it's like a pile of clothes on the floor, and someone's in the shower, and I'm a little upset, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm like sitting down with my head down, and Marcos and one of us like come out the shower, whatever. And he's like, "What's up, man? How are you?" I'm Marco, and like, we were talking or whatever, and I said like I was like I'm like, oh, Čarls Dženkins, like, nice to meet you. And he was like, Jenkins. And he was like, you know, we have a Serbian movie star who's, his name is Jenka. It's kind of similar to your name. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, Jenka. Like,
that's it.
Like, we'll call you Jenka like that. And then we had like media day up there or something. And I didn't know how big, like, I didn't think that name would follow me to this day. And I guess he had a conversation with a reporter, and he said it because they asked me. The first question was, we hear you got a Serbian nickname, and I was like, man, like that happened fast. And I was like, yeah, my Serbian nickname is Jenka, and then that was it. And then of course my teammates, they never call me Jenka. Like Lazo called me Charlie, they call me Blue, Chucky. Yeah. Like they never called me that. So I was like, okay, like that was just like a little thing or whatever. And then when we got back to Belgrade, like people were really calling me that. Like even my teammates now call me that. And of course I know who the real Jenka is. Let me just say that I know who the real person is, and I know
the movie.
I know the movie, and I know what team he belongs to. And I'm well aware. Yeah. But that's how it happened.
They're asking here, are you playing NBA 2K23? You playing?
Who asked that question?
Javier Reyes.
Don't answer. Don't. Next question, because I knew that was gonna happen. So listen, there are Serbian friends that I have that we've been on a 2K team for the past 4 or 5 years.
All right.
And their names are Bogi, Nemanja, and Peja. And Javier Reyes is one of the players.
Yeah.
So we have a group chat, and they know that I'm going to this show. So I knew that one of their questions was going to get through there.
He's actually asking.
And I went to high school with him.
For real?
Yes. So he's making a joke.
He's asking about who's your favorite teammate in PlayStation 5. He's probably thinking himself.
I'm not saying that because we are a team. Everyone. Right. But I said all their names. Those are my guys. My favorite Serbian guys right there.
And we got questions in English and questions in Serbian. This one is in English. Ask him, who is the best player in your hood? Is there anyone?
Who asked that question?
No, this is the local guy. Lukas.
Who's in America?
Yeah.
Now or
when you were growing up?
Oh, it's me. I'm the guy. Yeah, from where I'm from. Yeah, it's me.
Great. Hoćemo drugo freebet pitanje.
Ajde.
Yeah, we can move to the second question, and the question will be, what college did Jenkins play? What program?
Oh, and another dude, my man, Fancy. That's his name too. He's in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I want because I know they are watching. So
all right.
Those are my guys: Nemanja, Bogi, Peja, and Fancy.
Yeah, they're here.
Those are my guys.
Some of them are here. Dobro, dakle, drugo pitanje je na kom koledžu je igrao Jenkins. Pričali smo o tome mnogo. Vidite da odgovorite u originalu, zato što ima, vjerojatno kada se prebaci na srpski, može da bude onako nezgodno. They're asking here, did you went to Kuzma wedding?
Yeah, I did.
What was it like? It was in Doboj, right?
Yeah, it was in Bosnia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went.
That's the city.
Yeah, I went. It was fun. But I missed the wedding though.
Really? Why?
Yeah. The directions that I had, every location that I went to, there wasn't a wedding there. Like every church,
crazy.
every church that I went to, they were at the other church. And eventually,
After 3 or 4 hours.
after like driving around for maybe an extra hour, I said maybe the wedding's over by now, and just went back to the hotel and waited for him.
Yeah.
But Kuz is my brother, man. That's we're really close. So of course, when he asked me to come, I got invited. I was there was no way that I was gonna miss it. The only thing I was upset at is I don't know. Is this the Serbian dance is called kolo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that dance. So when it was like a big circle of people dancing like that,
You were shocked.
I was just like,
It's pretty easy.
of course I saw it before.
kinda easy.
I saw it at Marko Simonović celebration when he had the baby. I saw it, but at Kuz's wedding it was at a high level because it was a lot. It was a lot of rakia there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of celebration going on.
Yeah.
So when I was,
Anybody invited you in Kolo?
They did.
they invited me
Yeah.
the first time I saw it, but I feel like I need to go to like Kolo school or something.
No, it's easy. You just need to follow the
You followed the next
Yeah,
guy.
Pitanje za tebe.
Right?
Ko je bio bolji, Aleksandar ili Stefan Nađi?
Aleksandar je napravio veću karijeru, a mislim da je nažalost da je talentovaniji bio Steva, ali nije eksploatisao to. Aleksandar je napravio odličnu karijeru u Nemačkoj.
Da, je bio atraktivni igrač što se tiče zakucavanja i svega, tako?
Ko?
Aleksandar.
Nije, meni je Stevan bio je 2, 3, 4 mogo je da igra, znači snažan, brz.
Čekaj, Aleksandar je ovaj viši. Što je zakucavao, tako što igra za radnički cip.
Jeste, da.
Da. They asking, do you know Marko Jarić?
I know who he is, but I don't personally know him.
I don't know why is that. So the answer is of course Hafstra, and the first one who answered it, Dragan Savić opet. Dakle, Dragane, ne možeš dobiješ 2 puta za redom. And Nenad KJ je odgovorio baš onako kako treba. Hofstra Pride. Nenad, znaš šta radiš, šalješ na ID, MaxBet ID na Luka i Kuzma Instagram. This is a great question. Ask Janka what he thinks about N1 mixtape guys.
Oh, I used to love them.
When they were like celebrities.
Yeah, they were. That was a big time phase in New York.
Yeah.
Where we used to buy the mixtapes, watch them, and then go to the park or in the street and try all those moves that they used to do. Of course, I knew that those moves didn't work in a real game, but the excitement that was around them, that was big time.
Yeah, you got any favorite players from those team?
I liked the dude AO.
Aaron Owens.
Yeah, I liked him because
I talked about him like the last podcast when he was in Serbia, and then he played for Mobile Revelers in the NBDL.
Yeah, they see a lot of guys did the N1 moves, but they were illegal. Like Hot Sauce was a major star in N1, but a lot of moves he did, refs will call that.
Yep.
And I think that what made me like AO was he was really playing. So all the moves he did was legal. You can do them in a game.
Yep.
But they just worked, and he had a good IQ. He always made some crazy passes. That's the guy I really liked the most.
Yeah, they were here like 2005 and 2007.
They came here?
Yeah, I played against him. I scored like 30, and I had a fight with Half Man and Half Amazing.
You did?
Yeah. You know him?
Yeah, I know that. He's from Jersey.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. And
No, he's from Brooklyn. I'm sorry. Main event is from Jersey.
Main event from Jersey. And
Shane dribbling machine.
Yeah. Pharmacist was here. Professor was
Pharmacist was here?
Yeah. He was talking about he's going to open his own restaurant, but I think he went to jail or something.
He from I think he's from either Harlem or the Bronx.
Yeah. And New York guys, who else? You remember Flash?
Of course.
Yeah. Flash.
Passed away from Cali.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't here, of course, but Prime Objective. He was.
Yeah, I know Prime.
DC,
Prime. Yeah,
right?
no, Prime. Yeah, I think he from. But he be in the city a lot.
Yeah, and Main Event. Yeah, he's from Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Caldwell,
Headache?
I think.
Was Headache here?
No, he wasn't here. Yeah, he was a legend.
So what, they had like a friendly game with them?
Well, like we were Yugoslavia and they were like America, and they were up like 30. But the next game, 2007, was more close game with not so many and one street ball
like a real
moves.
game.
Yeah. And they won like 10 or something.
How did like Serbia receive that? Because there's a guy in Serbia, Tricky.
Yeah.
Like Tricky, I like I know him. You know, of course he's been at a lot of Red Sox games before. I've seen him many times. Like I'm always fascinated with the things he's able to do.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, man, what he's doing, it just reminds me of like when I was a kid. Like, man, like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like he did like I saw he did like a slip and slide challenge where to see how many he can get in the full court. And for me, the slip and slide was a thing when I was in the 7th grade. Like if you knew how to do that move, like you were like crazy. So every time I like watch his page and see like whatever new thing he's doing, it always like I have like a big appreciation for it because I remember when I was a kid and I used to be in the street trying to do some of those things. Yeah,
and the first time they came here, Escalade was here. Mark Jackson's brothers.
Troy.
Yeah, and then 2007 it was a different team. Professor was here, Hot Sauce was here, AO wasn't here, but new guys like Bad Santa was here. He's from Cali.
I know you're talking about.
And but there was
did Hot Sauce play?
Yeah, yeah, and Pat the Rock, I think he was here.
He's a trainer from DC.
Yeah, yeah. So they were pretty big. I mean, here the Pioneer was crazy.
Yeah, is there footage of that?
Oh yeah, like you wouldn't believe. Like it was, and me and Half Man, we had a fight, and then it's kind of people came to see them.
Yeah,
but they still cheered for Serbian team.
Yeah.
So that was kind of mixing it up, like who they're gonna cheer for, and they got a lot of boos from there, but they actually just went to the show, and it was good. It was great. And Tricky we were talking about that, and he said like I was a kid, and that is why Hot Sauce, and that's why I wanted to do that and practice all the time. Yeah, and we had one dunk, just one dunk that game, and the one dunk the next game they were crazy, and it was a great experience. Pitaju tebe šta misliš o N1? Ajde da
Čarls.
Da, Čarls. Dobro. Jesmo podelili drugi free bet, jesmo?
Jesmo.
Dobro. Dobro, ima ovde još pitanja. Growing up playing basketball, did they know anything about European basketball, or information and focus was only on what it was there?
I knew overseas basketball when I was growing up was just generalized. It was never like one location. So they always would say like, oh, he's going overseas. And that was the closest that I've ever knew about European basketball. And I had one teammate from college who went, he played in Italy for a little bit. Another guy played in Lithuania, but I really didn't have much information about it.
Yeah. They're asking who's the opponent player Charles find the most annoying?
Someone to play against?
Yeah. They're probably thinking about the trash talk or something like that.
Oh, like somebody to talk trash?
Yeah.
Can't really think of any players that were like super annoying, but I could think of a teammate who was super annoying when I played.
No.
Marcus Williams was super annoying. Yeah. And that's my brother. But he was annoying. He always had jokes. He always made fun of me sometimes. He would ask me at random times of the day, like what player, like he'll name a random player in Europe, and then he'll ask me, like, do I think I can guard him? And he would do that all the time, and he would do it on the phone. He would do it in the airport, a restaurant. It'll be so random, like right before we were roommates all the time, so it'll be late at night. He'll be on like Instagram or something and see some highlights, and he'll be like, you think you could guard him? And if I say yeah, I said yeah every time, he'll be like, oh, I think he'll do this to you. Like he used to always do that or make jokes. Yeah, he was annoying, but I love Marcus. But
How come he didn't have like bigger NBA career? He was so big there in the Nets.
Yeah, I think he was in a tough situation. Though. He came to the Nets and he played behind Jason Kidd.
Yeah, but still, there are stories that Jason Kidd was like, "Wow, this dude can play."
Yeah,
like,
he can play, but
yeah, like,
like the opportunity he had there is not going to be the same.
Yeah, of course.
You know, he bounced around. He was on Memphis, but the opportunity changes everywhere you go. It's kind of like starting over.
And he had like heart issues.
He had a heart issue. Yeah, but he definitely is a really, really good player, really talented player. I tell him all the time, like, that I feel like he should try to play overseas at least one more year, just retire the way I feel he should retire.
He didn't play like last 3 years.
Yeah, he didn't play like
dude,
he plays at home. He plays in the summer, plays a lot of pickup, but just the way he plays, I think he can, if he practiced for some months and get in like real good shape, I think he could come in Europe and still be effective. But
we're talking about Jeremy Pargo. He's playing Big Three, right?
Yeah, he playing Big Three. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he played G League too, and like during the year, and then played Big Three in the summer.
Who is the best talent that he saw in NABA recently that can make it to NBA or high level?
I didn't really get to see everyone yet.
Yeah.
But I saw the shooting guard from Mega. I'm not really sure his name yet, but we're gonna play them soon. But he played really well against us. I know there's a lot of
talking about young guy like 18
young guy. Yeah. I know
Jewish.
there's a lot of teams here.
Yeah,
a lot of teams that's interested in him already. But from the talent that I saw his game against us and his game against the OTE. So he looks like promising young talent, Serbian young talent.
They asking, where did you buy the jacket? Where can people buy that jacket?
Oh, I put this jacket in here. Yeah. Galleria, Nike store.
All right. Yeah. You got Max, so I was like, it was from TJ Maxx.
Nah, this is Air Max, bro. Come on, man.
All right. I just saw Max.
TJ Maxx, bro. Nah, I bought this from here.
Si bio nekad u TJ Maxx?
Gde je TJ Maxx u Americi?
Da, u Americi pa ono, kad si bio. Dobar, TJ Maxx.
I was long time ago in New York. I was 87 when I was a kid. Winter break. My sister was there. I went there.
In New York?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
And it was great experience, especially that in that time we are coming from, let's say, communist country.
Yeah.
We have a passport that everybody gets multiple visa. Mm-hmm. You can go whenever you want. And it was great because I had some unbelievable moments there, especially related to the movies that we saw. And there is a movie, Warriors, if you ever saw it.
Yeah, with all the gangs.
Coney Island, yes, all the gangs. And suddenly I'm in the Central Park, and I'm like, I was here.
Oh yeah, that's where the meeting was. Yeah.
So I was here, and you recognize certain moments from the movie, and it was great feeling. But I was kid, and still didn't know much about anything.
Yeah.
But I was impressed, of course, because everybody says that New York is different than all
so
the
different.
rest. Yes.
Greetings to Jenkins from a guy in a wheelchair with a Rodman jersey. You know who that is? He's following the game.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Much respect to him.
Yeah. Kažem, najloši podcast ili prevod ili da idemo. Pa kako da prevodimo? Sami recite kako mislite da prevodimo.
Prevešćemo ga, imaće ti.
Da, pa mislim.
Tako da će biti najloši do tog momenta. Za one koji ne znaju engleski.
They asking about Stephen Clay. Any stories? Special stories like you remember?
I just remember that their preparation. With Clay, we lived together, so we spent a lot of time just hanging out, playing video games, going out to eat, going to church. A lot of talking, but as far as like funny stories, not really. Steph, I didn't see him that much off the floor. He's a big family guy. Was around his wife. He just had his rally at that time, so I didn't spend that much time with him to get much funny stories. But when I think about them, I think about how much work they put in to become the good shooters that they are now, the great shooters that they are now.
They're asking, did you ever had experience in Yugo, the car? You know the Serbian car Yugo?
Nah.
It's like really old. And it's like probably the worst car in the world. They saying that, but we loved it.
But have you ever seen a movie with Die Hard?
The movie Die Hard?
Legends?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis are riding in
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like a small car, like you wouldn't believe anywhere. They're asking about your favorite TV show and favorite movie.
Favorite TV show?
It's not King of Queens, we know that.
Nah, it's not. I mean, it varies. Like, I like, for like entertainment, to make me laugh, I like the show My Wife and Kids with Damon Wayans.
That's pretty old.
Yeah,
right?
I like The Wire.
Oh, Wire was great.
Yeah, Martin.
What season? You like any season?
I like the season. I like season 4. That's when all the young kids came.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't like season 2 when they were with the construction workers. Yeah, I don't like that. No. That season was tough for me to get through. But season 4 with Marlo.
Marlo, yeah. What's your favorite character there?
I like Mike.
Really?
Yeah, Mac Wild's character. Just how tough he was. How observant he was. I mean, he came from a really tough childhood, so he wasn't really looking for handouts and things like that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of character I like, of course.
And Snoop? What do you think about Snoop?
I like Snoop's character, but just like where I'm from, I don't really think that kind of character exists in real life. Yeah,
and you remember the episode where the newer guys came?
Yeah, and
Snoop,
and she asked him about the radio station. Yeah, and he got it wrong.
Yeah,
and they killed him. Yeah,
that's
I remember
crazy. And the movie?
Movie.
You go to the movies here?
Yeah, I've been to the movies here before.
Yeah. And where do you go when you got it like evening off? Like Galleria? Is that the place, the mall that you would prefer?
Now or when I was younger?
Yeah, when you were young.
Nah, when I was younger, Utisci Mall was the place that we went. But I like the restaurants that was in Senyak. So I used to go to Sheher a lot, Zodiac, W Sushi. Like those were the places I went on off days.
Who's the best player ever in NBA from Europe? We can actually answer that.
Yeah, who you got?
So probably Dirk.
Dirk?
Yeah. But Nikola Jokic and Luka are there.
Yeah.
And Giannis.
Yeah.
It's crazy right now because they're still playing. And they're asking Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron.
See, that's tough.
Yeah, that's always tough.
It's tough.
But you got to pick Michael.
But I like, of course Michael. But I was so young, so I didn't really get to see everything from Michael, you know. And Kobe is my Jordan.
He's everyone's Jordan from our age, right?
Yeah.
But you told me once that you had some not so good experience with Kobe, right?
No, I had a really good experience with him.
But the thing is, you told me that you came and he was like, you wanted to talk, and he was like, nah.
No.
Nope.
No. That was it was the end of the season, and he was sitting the night out.
Oh, okay.
And they sat him because they were getting ready for playoffs. So at 3:30, he was on the floor, and I told you I'm on the floor at 3:30. So he was working out, and he was working out really hard. It was an amazing thing to see, honestly. Before a game, he was with the coach Phil Handy, and they were working on like post moves every spot, and he was running sprints in between his makes. So if he made 5, then he ran sprints, then went to the next spot. It was pretty intense. And when he was finished with his workout, he was walking back to the locker room, and someone that I was with had on a pair of Michael Jordan sneakers, and he said, "Why you wearing those shoes? This is my era." Yeah, that was cool. That's the only thing that he ever said. I've heard so many stories about like how approaching him wasn't always easy depending on what day it was. And I know there was a guy, Smush Parker from New York, that he always told stories about like how Kobe would tell him like, you don't deserve to talk to me. Like, you didn't do enough to talk to me. So in my head, I knew that, and I wasn't gonna be like, I wasn't real willing to take the chance to say, hey, Kobe, like, you know what I mean? I was more like just observing and admiring from afar.
But Smoosh, he took that steal before Kobe scored.
Yeah, he
match.
did that, and Kobe scored the game winner. But I mean,
he went to him right.
Yeah, so you see that and you think one thing, but if you ever find interviews about Kobe talking about Smush, it's not in a positive way. And if you hear Smush telling stories about Kobe, it's not him saying like, oh, we were real good friends. It was like, oh, it was hard to work with him. It was this. So I heard Smush is from New York, and we've all heard these kind of stories. So when I saw him, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go over there and say hello. I was just like, there go Kobe. That was it.
Yep. And Vladimir Radmanović was here. I don't know, you know who that is?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, he was here.
He's played for the Supersonics.
Yeah, for Seattle, then for Lakers. Then he went to Warriors, and then Charlotte.
Yeah, shooter.
And he was here, and he was talking all this crazy stuff about Kobe. Like, he was sitting at the end of the plane where stewardess sit. Not because he was like wanting to isolate himself, because he felt like nobody wanted his company, you know. And Ronnie Turiev came and he said, like, come and sit with us. And he was like happy as a little kid.
Oh yeah.
It was so many crazy stories with him, like, and I mean it's firsthand because
he was much younger then.
Yeah, no, he was.
It's a long time ago.
That's 2012. Yeah, that's 20. He was 24. Yeah, 34. 34. Yeah, he was young.
Was calling when they were calling him.
No, not 2012. 28. 208. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna switch to this. They're asking how long you're gonna stay in Serbia. Of course, that's connected with your FMP.
Yeah. I signed a 1-year contract with FMP, so depending on how the season go, we'll see.
They're asking, would you come to Serbia when you're retired?
Yeah.
Not to live here, just to visit, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll still come to rest our games. I still have relationships with Serbian players that's gonna last for the rest of my life. So, and not just Serbian players, Serbian people. On a more serious note, I lost a really good friend here to COVID, and to him, I feel like the way I can honor him is to keep the relationship that I have with his 2 daughters, and that's Nadia and Tamara and Tamara.
He's not from basketball, right?
No, he's a Red Star fan, but I've been fortunate enough to be involved with his family since I've got here. So yeah, I'll be here for sure. I'll be coming to check on them for sure.
Yeah.
You know that one day will come when you are going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea, any plans, anything? Because it comes very fast.
Yeah, it comes fast.
They asking actually, do you think about becoming a coach after?
Yeah, so I coached this year while I was home, and I was always I always said like I didn't want to be involved in basketball like that when I was done, but coaching this year, it just changed my entire thought process towards it. I coached at George Westinghouse High School with my best friend, and I loved every second of it. I loved preparation. I loved being a part of those guys' lives and guiding them, giving them an opportunity to see something different outside of their neighborhoods. They're all from relatively rough neighborhoods in New York City, and I took a lot of time for free just to be around them and bring them to Hofstra so they could see what success looks like from a different perspective. Fortunately, in our neighborhood, success is normally the guys that's doing wrong or the guys that's doing rap music and stuff like that. So I was able to be around them, coach them, feel how good it is to prepare for a game and win as a coach. And it feels the same like as a player. And I felt a lot of excitement. I was upset when we lost, and I still cared about it as if I was playing. So just knowing that I have that kind of passion towards the sport, even if it's not for the benefit of myself, and it's more of mentorship role, and I still talk to these guys now that I'm out here. I think that's something that in the future I would for sure like to coach high school and be able to help change lives of kids in New York City.
We're talking about high school level?
High school, yeah, for sure.
Okay. And they asked him, do you know about Jaylene Adams, who's playing now for the Red Star? His game or anything?
I don't know much about his game. I just know that he was the MVP in Australian League last year.
Yeah. Playing for Sydney Kings. I'm actually commentating on weekend.
Those games, yes.
Yeah, they're starting the season this weekend. Opinion about Alexei Shved during your stay in Himki?
That's my guy.
For real?
Yeah. That's my brother.
Stefan Jovic had a different kind of experience with him.
What'd he say?
He said like he was waiting for him at the showers for 2 hours to talk about this one play, and he said like they had like so many quarrels, but they were cool. But when he asked him one time, why did you took that shot and missed for the game? We were like battling for 45 minutes. It was in overtime in Valencia, and he's like, I'm not a corner shooter. I'm not. That's not. And they didn't fight, but it was tense.
The thing is, like, with Lexi, which it was kind of hard to get used to, because the person he is on the floor is not who he is when the game is over. So it was like kind of tough to be upset at him with some of his shot selections, because one, in practice, that's how he practiced. So the shots that he take in the game, it's not like in practice we're doing this and then in the game come we're surprised. Like, this is how he plays. This is his game. Yeah. This is how he plays. So when I was able to, and rest in peace Tyler. Tyler basically told me how things are gonna go when I got there. And it was just like, okay, wait and see. I just wanted to see, was this a real thing? And when it happened, when I first saw like him take a lot of shots, and I saw him make a lot of shots, I saw him miss a lot of shots. But when the game is over, you don't know what kind of game he had, because he's not going to say anything about basketball. It's like, it was, for me, we lived one building apart, so I can walk to his house. It was like, I got a new restaurant, me and Stefan Markovic is going to go to tomorrow. You want to come? And this will be after a game, like a big game or a game where he didn't play well. It's like, tomorrow we're going to have off. You want to go get some food? Oh, come to my house. Let's hang out. It was like that. So normally, like, if someone's like that kind of player on the court, and if they off the court, it's easy not to like gravitate to them. But the way he played and the way he is as a person, it's like two different people. So I was able to like just accept it. Like, I know this is your role. Like, this is how you play. And then when I went to his house, he had a lot of pictures of Allen Iverson in his house. So it makes sense. Like, this is like, it makes sense. Like, why, like, that's his game. And of course he pass, he can probably get a triple-double if he really wanted to. He could get a double-double every night if he wanted to, but he's a scorer. That's what he likes to do. And Barsokas once told us that it's up to us to find our way around how he plays. And for me, it was defense. And I was able to have a good relationship with him. I know for Stefan, it's probably more difficult because he's a really good passer as well. And it's hard to go from where you are the main playmaker to being the second, but really the third, because Alexi is the first option and the second. And then everybody else got to figure out, how you can affect, how you can help the team win.
Yeah. Did you talk about his Knicks days?
Nah, because I wouldn't talk about that just because I know he was on the Knicks when people were laughing at them. Of course, people are still laughing at the Knicks, but they were really laughing when he was there. What do you think
about Knicks? Are they ever gonna recover from this?
I don't know, man. I have one friend. His name is Fly. He's a big time Knicks fan, big time, and we always talk about like just their draft selection over the years. Like, there's always like an opportunity to get some kind of talented player, and they always go
they all miss
like far away from where people think they were gonna go, and I think that's like, I don't know, maybe that's like a joke when they're at, but they always, I think they take like a different a tougher road as far as like trying to find immediate success.
Yeah, they're asking about the favorite Serbian song. You got any?
Yeah, Zek Zek Dadule.
Zek Zek Dadule. You know that?
Šta je to?
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like from your first year in Red Star, right?
Yeah.
It's that old.
It's that and dang, I don't want to say this, but I know people probably gonna. But Gazapaya is my favorite Serbian rapper.
You know Gazdapaya? No,
Vanja,
he
ko je
doesn't know.
Gazdapaya?
He's too old. Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Yeah. That's my guy.
He's like 30 years younger than you.
Only 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gazapaya is my favorite Serbian rapper. So.
And you like his favorite song, right? His best song? Yeah.
Mura Tusva.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And Izinata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about Shved.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed his game.
Yeah.
Even that we know that there is no responsibility sometimes. It looks like this. But have you seen the fact when he moved the CSK, he was not him?
Yeah, I think his
different kind of game.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah,
totally
but
different.
I think it was a little different just because the coach there is really, really demanding. And they have a lot of other like really talented players next to him. They had Will Clyburn, Mulatinov. They had I don't think Hillard was there, right? No, Hillard wasn't there. But they had a lot of like other well-established players in Europe that have their own right to demand the ball in certain situations. So I think that's a little bit different from him because when he was in Khimki, everything goes through him and everyone else has to adjust to that. And some nights he didn't get the same amount of shots that he would get on a normal night with Khimki, and I think it was just something different.
But not good. Different but not good. Because we even that we know everything about him, even what you are saying is true, we enjoyed his performances, and that's who he is.
Yeah.
He cannot adjust in a team like CSK.
I think he's capable of still performing like that. It's just,
but not in CSK. In certain teams, if somebody let him do that.
Yeah, I mean, because it was a lot of times where I see he was getting taken out of the game too, like getting subbed out a lot, and that's different because in Khimki he was getting subbed when he was tired. Yeah.
People are going crazy about the wire and everything. That you talk about the wire. And everything, and they asking, did you watch Sopranos? So
it was late. Like when I tried to watch it, I think I watched maybe like a couple episodes. But like for me, I'm the kind of guy like when I'm watching a show, whatever, I don't like shows that build up.
Yeah,
I like the first pilot episode to be like intense. Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna be getting used to. So the first episode, it wasn't what I wanted it to be, but. My girlfriend Alyssa and I, we definitely always spoke about that we wanted to watch The Sopranos. That was one of the shows that we wanted to get into.
And Game of Thrones?
Nah, that's her lane. I can't do the dragons and all that. Nah.
Can you comment about the Red Star and Partizan teams this year, bringing so many foreign players?
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season.
Euroleague and everything.
They both in Euroleague. They both gonna have great ambition to continue to be in Euroleague for the upcoming year. So I think it's gonna be nice to watch the battles that they're gonna have. They both have really good rosters, and they have rosters that's not only good enough to be in Euroleague, but good enough to try to compete for a playoff spot, and that's from both clubs. So I think it's gonna be an exciting year of basketball for both fans.
A lot of Partizan fans are giving you respect when they come to you on the street. Do you have any bad experience, or they just like cool?
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, they cool. Some of them are cool, of course. But they always tell you like who they like. Yeah. That's like they always say that. That's right? Like the first thing. Even sometimes like if I'm ordering food on Walt and one of them are like working and they open the door, they'll be like, oh, they say what team they like, and then they say that. I think most of them have respect for me because they know how I feel about their country.
Yep.
I think that, and
I got to talk a little bit about Tyler. You mentioned him.
Yeah.
What happened there? I mean, we cannot understand what happened that day. Do you know anything? Everybody's saying that he was so cool guy that
yeah,
something went.
I don't really know like what exactly happened. I just can tell you just my perspective of like how I felt and everything like that. I'm not really sure that there's a million different versions of what possibly happened.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, and out of respect for him, I don't want to get up here and tell you something that might have not happened. But Tyler was a very good friend of mine. He was the first person to reach out to me when I got to Kimki. We came in draft the same time, 2011. We spoke very frequently throughout the season, especially when we saw each other. It was always an amazing like amount of respect that we had for one another. And our first season playing together, we were roommates the entire year. So to be with someone like an entire season and then to communicate with them when I was home, because I just got a new car that year and he wanted me to ship my car to California so his friends could work on it. They were going to add like, you know, exhaust pipes and change the color and all of this stuff. And we were communicating about that. And to go from that to my agent sending me a link, that was a live news report, and seeing his car that he showed me so many times, seeing the Airbnb that he showed me that he was going to be staying in the summer, it was just weird because I was just with him, and not only was I just with him, I just spoke to him.
We talk about weeks, days,
like weeks. The season that was a month after the season was over, and we were celebrating because we got our bonus from Kimki because we made the finals, and we were all like happy, at least from what I saw. I mean, I didn't think, and he was talking to a couple of teams, but I think Kimki offered him to come back, so I was really happy about that because that would have been his first full healthy season. So to see that on the news, it felt fake to me. Like this is impossible. Like this is not happening. And you know, there was like a standoff for a very long time. And I remember just like refreshing my phone. Like I didn't sleep at all that day. And I kept refreshing, checking the news. I was on the computer, kept checking. And then later on, they said that he passed. And it's still like just a weird like situation. Yeah. It's unexplainable, yeah, but rest in peace to Tyler, man. That's my brother, man.
Your first Serbian words, we all know it's probably the bad word, right?
Nah, it was hvala puno.
Oh, okay. And how's your Serbian now?
It's not good.
Not good still?
Nah, it's hard. It's hard, man. Like
yeah, it is.
When I was in Russia, I had a tutor, Teodora. It was a Serbian school where you buy some classes and you get like a live tutor. And I was good as far as like the normal greetings and things like that, but once it got to the grammar and how, you know, sometimes you use ooh or when to use it, or if you the tense, like the past tense, I was using the wrong tense, and when we used to have tests, I would get everything wrong, and I would be super frustrated, like,
yeah.
Bro, super frustrated, and like for a very long time, and then I just stopped. Like most of my Serbian friends, they speak English, so
it's easier.
It's easier, yeah. Of course, if I'm in a taxi, I know. That's no problem. Stani. I know how to tell a taxi driver where to go. I know how to order food, but as far as like speaking it fluent, I can't. And the times I get really upset that I don't speak it fluent is if I see a little kid that's like trying to say something to me. If they're happy to see me and they're saying something and I can't understand, and I'm just like, man, like, I should know this so I can communicate with him.
Ask him to give advice how to be a better player. This is probably a young dude.
I mean, one, you need an environment of people that's trying to get better as well. You can't do it alone. And you need some type of older guidance. Like here in Serbia, there's a lot of older coaches that untrained many players, that have helped a lot of people get better on and off the court. I think the first thing you need is an environment of players that's willing to get better every day. And you need some type of coaching experience that will help you do the right things to help you become a better player.
And do you have a lucky shoes?
No, I don't have a lucky shoe, but if I have a really bad shooting night in sneakers, I don't wear them again.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So my second year in Red Star, there was a lot of shoe changing. Yeah, I was changing shoes a lot.
And who is your best friend in Red Star? Was that Marco?
That's a really tough question because I had a lot of players that were close. Luka, Jaka Blazic, Simke, Danga, my man Reba Beba. like those are my like guys. Like
Yeah.
like we're all Kuz, Zemara. That's my brother. We're all really close, and we all like still communicate. Like I still talk to them now when I was at home, when I was at another club. Like we communicate. When Luka was in Bamberg, he made sure that he came to see me, and I saw him on the road. Like it's mandatory. I'm in his family. His wife is my sister. And the same for Simke, the same for Laza, the same for Kuz. Reba's brother is my younger brother. And we have that relationship that if I see them, then they feel the same way about me that I do them. Danga family is my family. Nenadic family is my family. Because I've been to a lot of my teammates, Slavas, before I met their family. We've had many conversations. So to say who's my best Serbian teammate, I can't. Just because we're all really, really close.
You're going to learn Serbian, and you're going to stay as a coach here.
Yeah.
I need to start now then.
Yeah. What's your favorite sport behind basketball?
Baseball.
Besides basketball? It is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the best coach you ever worked with?
Damn.
They're probably thinking like everywhere. College, NBA,
everywhere.
Europe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're asking, how did you feel when you saw your name in Slagalica? You know, when the TV quiz. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, I was just because of how the picture was, because there was one dude that tagged me in the photo. Just like it just looked like a game show at first.
Yep.
So I was like no way. I was kind of like, nah. Why? Because I haven't been here in quite some time. So why would that be a question on a game show? But then I thought it was fake. I thought it was like some Photoshop picture or something. And then
it was like
he sent me like the live video, and I was like, did he get it right? And he was like, yeah, he did. So I was like, man, that's crazy. That's why I posted. I don't post much, but I had to post that. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
They're asking, do you know Charles Carter, who's posting videos, American who lives in Serbia? YouTube guy. I don't know.
Charles Carter?
Yeah.
Nah.
They're actually Cutter.
Cutter?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'll definitely check when I get home.
Yeah. What's your favorite city behind Belgrade in Serbia?
Oh, in Serbia?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Novi Sad.
Let's go. Yeah. It's so close. So.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking about opinion about Vasilis Panoulis.
Oh, Billy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's the GOAT.
Yeah. A lot of questions.
That's kind of funny. Billy's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like a Billy GOAT. Yeah.
They're asking if Marcus's favorite song is I Believe I Can Fly.
Who?
Marcus
Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
Because I think...
Oh, I know what they're saying. Wow. You know what they're doing? You know what they're trying to say?
Nope.
So you know about like him failing a drug test.
Oh.
So they're trying to be funny. Who said that?
The dude named Miroslav Graunic.
Oh, he's a funny guy, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's crazy.
Yo.
Yankees or Mets or Jets or Giants?
Come on, man. The Mets. I don't watch football.
Yeah.
The Mets. I'm from Queens. The Mets is they about 20 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. He said that. I believe I can.
Yeah, I didn't understand, but it's crazy. Was you surprised when your T-shirts were printed with his image, with your image? T-shirts with your.
What T-shirts?
Yeah, they were T-shirts. Red Star fans had those.
They did?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I know. Saleh.
They gave you a hoodie, but that was just a Red Star hoodie.
Yeah.
But there were some. I saw the T-shirts with your face and everything. For real? Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Can we keep him like for 20 minutes more? Is that okay? Okay, like 20 minutes? Is that cool? Yeah, okay.
Over there. Oh, she's still awake.
All right. So we got to do the third question. You want to answer it? You want to
Go for it.
Ok, dakle treće pitanje će da bude u vezi Zlatibora, kada su DeMarcus Nelson i Blake Shield dobili svoje sobe. Ko je tada bio cimer Jenkinsu? Čuli ste vjerojatno priču, dakle treba da odgovorite to i to će biti treće free bet pitanje. They're asking you, how was Zucchini after the loss with FMP?
Huh? I know who that is.
Yeah.
That's my boy Alexa.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Alexa Petrovich.
So yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Alexa lives in Senyak, so his mom prepared me a nice dinner after the last game. But Alexa's my that's my family right there. I know if you could probably watch this and say, damn, he's saying everybody, his brother, his family.
Yeah.
But Alexa's a younger kid that I met him when he was little.
Really?
Yeah, I met him in Aroma, and he was telling me like I'm his idol. And he actually, when I had the game against Budavelnik, there's like a still shot of him as a little kid, and because of like social media and things like that, we were able to keep a relationship. And when I came back, he was someone that always reached out to me, and he's a really good Serbian basketball player. He's going to be a really good player in the future. But he's I think 17 or 18.
Okay.
But we have a really good relationship, and I have one with his family as well. So his mom prepared something nice for me after the game. Yeah, that's my brother. Shout out my man Alexa. Yeah.
They're asking differences between NBA and Europe coaches.
The pressure. NBA is 82 games, so if you lose a game, it's not the end of the world per se. But as to in Europe, as far as you lose one game, that one game could change your season, you know. And European coaches are under a lot more pressure, especially when you're competing for a position or a playoff spot. You know, every game's important.
Dobro, dakle, ko je odgovorio na treći free bet je Uroš Janković. Uroše, ne znam da li si slao ranije, ali na Luka i Kuzma Instagram šalješ MaxBet ID.
ID MaxBet.
Pitaju ovdje da li sam ja igrao 2005 protiv 1-2, jesam, i nadimak mi bio Lucky Luke. Kažem, stavio sam ta 30 i pronaćao mi taj CD postoji.
What's these are guys that won?
Which one?
The guys that got the answers right.
Yeah,
so you're reading. Oh.
Yeah. You got like so many right answers, but the first one, who got it?
How many winners is it?
3.
3?
Yeah.
All right.
3 questions.
3 winners. If you live in Belgrade, we play on Monday. I'll leave you tickets to the game on Monday, and I'll take pictures with you after if you come to the FNP game.
But most of these guys, they're not from Belgrade. We got guys from States, from Australia, and it's pretty tough.
What? Eto, reci.
Da, dakle, vi koji ste dobili MaxBet free bet, imate dakle od Čarlsa karte i možete da se slikate sa njim, čak i ako niste iz Beograda, ako ste negde blizu, dakle, javite se i sve ide preko našeg ovog naloga.
U ponedeljak u 6.
Ponedjeljak u 6. Da.
FMP Mega.
FMP Mega u Železniku, tako?
Železnik, ja.
Da. Dakle, čuli ste. Dakle, Uroš, Dragan i Nenad. Nenad je Kragujevac. Ali Nenad ako hoćeš dođeš...
Ali ako dođe u ponedjeljak, može da dobije kartu.
Tako da...
What do you expect of the game?
I think it's going to be... Yeah, we're preparing now. We played against them in a friendly game, and they embarrassed us a little bit, so we'll be motivated to play. And it's our first official game of the season. We played so many friendly games. We had a lot of practices to get ready, and I think everyone is prepared to play against them on Monday.
The opinion about Jokic and how far can Nuggets go this year?
I mean, Jokic is two-time MVP, bro. That speaks for itself. He's literally one of the best players in the NBA. The last 2 years, the best. How far they can go, the Western Conference is tough. Yeah, I think without Jamal Murray, it's been pretty tough. Not having a really, really good point guard in the West is tough. So I think if he comes back, I think they'll have a better chance in the playoffs. But they still will have to play the Clippers that's healthy this year. They have to play the Warriors that's healthy. The Lakers. The West is pretty tough. So,
yep.
But I think Jokic is great.
Why are they asking so many questions about Lamar Odom?
Because he's from Queens.
Oh, okay. So there's a connection. I gotta be careful.
There's a connection. Lamar Odom and my brother played Little League football together.
Oh, okay. So they know what they're talking about, right?
Maybe, unless if they making more R. Kelly, I believe I can fly jokes. Then I can't.
No. That's why I gotta be careful. Yeah. They're asking, is the Clay the biggest reason that you had to leave the Warriors?
Clay?
Yeah.
Nah.
Probably not. Yeah.
Nah, not at all.
Okay, so many questions, but we gotta wrap it up.
Yep.
Right? You know, it's almost 3 hours. Does it feel like that?
I just know my water's finished, so I'm like, oh yeah, it's late.
Yeah.
This guy who was here, Nicola, he is going to help us with the translation.
Oh, he's gonna.
We are making a subtitle.
Yeah.
We are trying to do it as soon as possible, because for certain number of people, this is definitely not the best podcast. But I receive messages all the time. Those who understand, they enjoy, and that's why we invited you, because we knew that you have something to say, not just basketball, about how you become successful.
Yeah, there are still questions coming, but we got to wrap it up because Charles got to practice. This is really late for everybody, especially for basketball players. So,
Vanja, baci mi majicu. Stvarno je bacio.
Yes.
Charles, to thank you. This is brand new shirts that we made recently. Yeah. And actually you're the first guest.
You're
going to receive this.
Yeah, because they were made like a couple of weeks ago.
Small present. I think it suits you.
And of course it's going to be red and white.
Of course, yeah. So, Thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate this. Thank you.
Charles, once again, really it was great having you here. I hope you enjoyed it as we did. So it was a great podcast, and we're gonna try to translate. So zaista ćemo se potruditi da što pre prevedemo, zato što vidim da je dosta vas koji kažu da ne mogu da prate, ali nije bilo fizički moguće da puštamo prevod u sred, tako da radit ćemo na tome zaista i gledat ćemo da bude što pre. Tako da, toliko što se tiče mene. Kuzman, ti imaš još nešto?
Once again, thank you. Not that you share everything with us, and we invited you, not just because you were a Red Star player, but because you had a great career before, and you are actually in a new role now, and you are playing for a young team, and everybody is watching them because last year they made good results, so everybody expecting to be even better. I thank you again. I feel sorry because I was at the game against Opava, and I watched that game.
The second game.
The second game that you also played up and down, but it was a better game. I feel bad you didn't make it, but we wish you all the best in upcoming season. We will follow your games. We will talk to your coach. We wanted both of you to be here, but then it will be a little bit difficult to talk everything that we wanted to talk with you. Yeah. So he'll join us some other time.
Probably next week.
And I'm so happy that you were here, and I hope that everybody enjoyed as much as we do. Yeah,
I know you all know Čarls, but and you know that he's a great player, but he was really a great guy, and with all his stories about this young people that now are there, his friends. I'm going to do this part in Serbian because I'm just saying good things about you, but zaista ste vidjeli kakav je lik i nije ni čudo što ga ljudi toliko vole. I kada recimo rekao to da ne bi igrao za reprezentaciju Srbije, to neko ko možda pročita naslov pa može da misli nešto drugačije, ali
tako
to je
zaista
napisan
naslov.
Jest. Da, ali to je zaista jedan nevjerovatan respekt.
Smisao, da.
Nevjerovatan respekt koji ima prema Srbiji, prema ljudima, prema saigračima. Vidite i koliko je porodičan čovjek i koliko je sve, i zaista mislim da smo svi onako privilegovani što ne samo možemo da ga imamo ovdje u podcastu, već zato što je neko ko zaista ga gledamo kao da je naš. Tako da nadam se da ste...
I nek poslušaju svi malo reči koje je izgovarao vezano za svoje ljude i kako je uspevao i koje nedoumice imao. Biće još lepše kad se prevede za one mlađe koji možda ne mogu da prate, ali često nam se dešavaju pitanja, dajte neki savjet. Evo ga čovjek koji ima neki savjet da kako je prošao i kako je nikad nije bio glavom u oblacima, nego je sve išlo polako i zaista uživanje bilo slušati.
U ponedjeljak ćemo se vratiti košarci, naravno, zato što počinje sve i svašta i pričat ćemo mnogo o košarci, pa ćemo nadoknaditi sve što nismo pričali sada, ali ovo je zaista bila jedna lepa košarkaška ljudska priča i nadam se da ste i vi uživali kao i mi. Tako da toliko što se tiče 79. podcasta, pa se vidimo u ponedjeljak.
U ponedjeljak u 9 čas.
U ponedjeljak u 9 se vidimo u 80. Vidimo se.